I had a dog scoff at me one time.
A scoff?
Yeah, it was so funny.
You mean like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had just moved into an apartment, and I had like a blow-up mattress.
Yeah.
And this girl came over with her dog, and she obviously lived in a much nicer place. And we were on the air mattress, and the dog was there, and I did one of those for the dog to get up on the air mattress, and it was, like, looked at the mattress like, and like walked off. And
Like, fuck that.
Yeah, it was like that. You better get a better bed.
Yeah, he's probably like, that's like the dog telling you, like, I don't know you, motherfucker. I don't know you.
No,
I'm not
I
jumping up there.
think if it had been a nice bed, he would have hopped up.
He had standards.
My bed was too low for his standards. It was very funny.
Yeah, dogs have personalities. Dogs really do have personalities. It's so funny to me.
Yeah.
Like you'll see dogs with, like my dog is a dog with like anxiety. When like those.
Is this how you start usually? You
Sure, just go right into it. But we will say, I guess, since we're addressing it, episode 167 with Zach Albers. Happy to have you here, sir. Talking about dogs and cats and whatnot. But let's talk about you for a second. You do comedy. I mean, I was going to ask you a second ago because you said you work as a cook at the Laugh Factory, and that's kind of how you got into comedy, you say?
No,
no. Oh, so how does that happen?
I was doing stand-up way before I started working at Laugh Factory.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, I started working there because I broke my wrist
Yeah.
playing softball, and I had like, no income. So I had to take like a little easy job I could do with a broken wrist. And
because you were saying it didn't really have to do with you being a comedian, so it was more about your wrist.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So what were you doing before that?
Warehouse work,
That's like a big change. That's probably a good change, though, right?
The best change,
right? It's like a miracle.
Change.
Yeah,
I thought,
because you wouldn't expect that. Like, if you were just working warehouse jobs your whole life to like get by, you probably would never think to even try to be a cook or something like that.
Well, no, I just hate being new at shit. So like, the only jobs I ever would apply for were warehouse jobs because that was the only thing I'd ever like did.
Yeah.
And I had no interest in trying to like get a job where I had to like learn a whole new thing to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I hate being new at stuff.
Yeah, me too. I don't even want to start learning things.
Yeah, I like whenever I'd start a warehouse job, I liked the fact that I kind of knew everything that was going on.
Because you'd done that forever? Mm-hmm. Like always? Like
since I was my first like real job, yeah.
Yeah. And warehouse jobs, that's just like what? Just like assembly line type stuff?
Like forklift, unloading, loading, and then it starts off with you unloading trucks or loading trucks, and then you more get out into the warehouse part of it and making sure inventory. This is really good podcast.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, well, everybody wants to hear about forklifts for sure. They're like, dude, I've been waiting.
I try to keep it hidden that I'm forklift certified, dude. You don't.
I was gonna say like, there's probably certifications and things.
Well, no,
like
it's just such a big deal,
Is it really?
No, I don't.
You can use that somewhere.
No, I don't want people to treat me different though. When they find out I'm forklift certified.
Yeah, well, they might be like, this guy's a real.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
He's a real thing. Like,
and I didn't know I was sitting in the presence of somebody who could.
That's why I try to keep it like under wraps because, I mean, people do treat.
They might like start trying to like book you for gigs where they need somebody to use a forklift.
Yeah,
and stuff.
A lot of
you might get.
Yeah, I might just get. Yeah, I'll be the brewery comedian.
You don't want that,
huh? I would love to be the brewery comedian.
That'd be so funny. You show up to a gig and they're like, "Hey, we got a forklift in the back."
Yeah,
we heard.
We heard. Oh man. Honestly, if the forklift could fit onto the stage, I'd just pull up to the mic.
Yeah. Yo, like
left.
Stone Cold Steve Austin driving a 4-wheeler, but instead you're on a forklift.
Right.
That would be sick as fuck, dude. Start like
put one of the forks into the stool and like lift it up and down for the audience, just to.
Yeah.
Just to show him I wasn't bullshitting.
Yeah.
You know, like
actually use it.
now I'm just thinking, what if I was lying? Like, wouldn't
About
that
the
be,
forklift
yeah,
thing?
wouldn't that be a wild thing to lie about?
It would be a little wild, but it wouldn't be the wildest thing I've ever heard anyone lie about.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard some crazy lies. Like have you ever talked to somebody who's like a
Pathological liar?
Yeah.
I have.
Because those people blow your mind.
It's crazy, isn't it? yeah.
I didn't realize people were like this.
Yeah. Oh, man.
They lie about things you don't have to lie about.
Yeah. I was in an argument with a girlfriend one time, and I just hit her with, I don't know, hit her with, you're not as smart as you think you are. And she hits me with, actually, I am. I'm a certified genius. I've been tested like many times, and I'm like, what the fuck is a certified genius?
Certified genius.
I mean, we fought so much that I Googled like certified genius. What that? Because I wanted to be able to. Hey, I need to see this certificate, by the way. And I Googled it, and when you type in shit on Google, there's always something that comes up that could possibly be. I typed in, can you be a certified genius? And you can't.
I don't think you can.
That's a weird thing to lie that you've been tested. And
you didn't act I would have tried to ask more questions. I'd be like, you've been tested. Who tested you? Where were these tests conducted?
Yeah, but
what do you mean tests?
No, I'm so lazy though.
The genius test.
No, I'm too lazy to want to keep an argument going. So this is the type of person that would find a way to prove that they were, when in fact I just wanted to call you out on bullshitting.
Certified genius.
I don't really care if you're a certified. Either way,
she said things like this more often too.
Yes,
she would do this
I would say pathological. But yeah, the ones I remember were shit that it was just like, why would you even lie? Like, what's to gain? Because one time we were driving past a driver's range, and I was like, I would love to see you hit a golf ball. Kind of assuming that she'd be very bad at it, or I know she would be very bad at it.
Yeah.
But she goes, I'm actually a really good golfer. And I'm just sitting there thinking, there's no way. I've seen you throw a ball before. Because you would think, that's got nothing to do with golf, but you can tell people that are athletically inclined,
right,
just by the way they throw or the way they catch a ball. And I'd seen her before, and I was like, oh, you haven't done anything athletic before, or played any sports growing up.
Yeah.
So, and golf is one of the hardest ones if you were to be in sports.
And she's just casually saying
I'm a really good golfer. It's not that you're lying about it. It's why?
Yes.
What to gain?
What would the purpose even? And also, just the that lie is so see-through. If someone, okay, let's go golfing then. If I take you golfing and you're not good, but what these people would do then is they come up with I haven't golfed in a long time.
Right.
I actually used to be really good.
Yeah.
I won tournaments, but now give me a month. They'll come up with another story on the spot.
There will never be an admission of.
But I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I think if you're actually a liar like that, there won't be an admission because they're lying to themselves. It's this crazy, because again, why would you even lie about that? It doesn't even, if you hang out with this person long enough, you realize this is built into their personality, and it's not quite that they're doing it for some logical reason. They just lie.
I think there is.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's this. So this guy I met, I still have the list on my phone. I met him back in high school, and one of the first things he ever told me was that he licked jelly off a hobo. It was just a story that he told, which was so strange to me. I was like, why would you? Because I knew he was lying already by then, but I was thinking, why would you make up a story where you lick jelly off a hobo? You don't even look cool in that story. It makes no sense.
I think the mission is to
impress.
Yeah, you cultivate a personality in front of people, and one of your he wants to be seen as a wild card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I do crazy shit.
Here's
like,
all the things he did.
You listed them.
I got the list on my phone.
Were you doing this as you knew the person?
This list is from 2017. He opened for Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
He sang the national anthem.
Uh-huh.
He has extremely sensitive hearing, and he can hear dog whistles.
Okay.
He knows how to... Oh, so my girlfriend at the time was named Ruby.
I love this guy.
Dude, you would just say this stuff.
I love this guy. I can hear dog whistles. That rules.
So crazy.
This is...
And everybody in these situations, everybody's like, "Oh, okay, all right." Like they're nodding along to being nice.
If you've ever been in a relationship with someone like that, you wish you were them, like, and not the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, honestly, I think that's a lot of it too.
Yeah.
Is like that's like they enter the relationship being the wild card, so that the other person can't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you just lie.
It's like a yin and yang.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a balance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a weird position to be in, to be dating that person.
Oh,
I feel
yeah,
like.
it's
'Cause
like-
you kind of know.
Well, you're just coming from the mindset of a fucking normal person, and you're just like,
Actual
you
human.
can't wrap your head around like, why the fuck are you lying about being a great golfer? Or you can hear dog whistles, and you're just like,
And you're trying to be supportive. You know, you're
Right,
also like,
right,
you're
right.
trying to be a good significant other. So
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
like patting them on the back as they say these things. Because what else do? You can't like confront them. And I remember like later on in the story with this guy, like he eventually, the girl was gonna break, because it was my girlfriend's sister's boyfriend, so I would see him a lot. That's why I had to have this list. And that's why everybody was nice to him, because it's like the whole family of the girl that he's dating, so everybody's trying to just play along. But like we all know what's happening. And I remember when they broke up, or they were going to break up, one of the things he said is, "Oh, I know I lie about everything, you know, I'm trying to fix that," which made it even weirder, because now he's saying he knows he lies. So what's going on? He played Wii with Daniel Radcliffe. That one's cool. Daniel Radcliffe had just came to Flint, Michigan, where I'm from. He had just been there. And so when we brought up that Daniel Radcliffe was in Michigan, he said, "Yeah, I played Wii with him."
of course. You could have said anybody, by the way. You could have said Drake was coming. You could have said fucking Trump was coming.
When my girlfriend had got her prom dress, she was gonna come back to the house, and so she said, "I bet Brett's gonna say that he designed this dress and that it was made. He knew that I was gonna pick it."
Wait, what now? What
So
dress?
Brett is the guy.
Okay, I got you.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
But the dress she had picked for prom, we had just went to the mall and picked out a dress, or wherever we went. We have a dress now. We're on our way back to where the liar will be. So she says, "I bet you this guy's gonna say that he designed this dress that we just picked out."
He was a clothes maker?
He's also designs clothes, yeah, and
Okay.
he designed this dress, and she was spot on. When we walked in,
That
he said, "I actually
so
designed
good.
that dress."
That's so good.
It's great. But again, you could pick anything. He's just gonna take over. He's gonna like, "Oh, I was with that person. Oh, I made that thing." It's so funny to me.
I swear this girl did that shit too.
These
Like,
people, and it blows my mind. I didn't know this was real until I met these people. They're real.
Yeah, because she would, tell me how wealthy, like, she grew up, and like anytime like a rapper would come on, or like if I was watching sports or something, like I mean, this didn't happen every time, but a couple times, whoever was playing, like, or whoever was on TV, she would say, "Oh, I hung out with them."
Yeah. Oh, what'd you guys do?
Yeah.
And I get what you're saying. You don't even want to feed into it.
No,
You don't
I
even want to
it's
ask
like,
questions.
It's a awkward. I'm gonna ask a question that I'm like, you know, there's like 40% of you that wants to believe it because of yourself. You're like, who would do that? Like, I would never just act like I know somebody I don't never met.
Exactly.
And so yeah, it's just hard to wrap your mind around. It's like, who would lie about that? So it must be true. But yeah, then the more the lies happen, you're like, God damn, all those things that I was a little skeptical of. Yeah, I was right.
You got to keep a list like me.
Yeah,
you got to
that's-
start listing it.
I'm never gonna do that, but that is smart. Yeah.
It like gives me, because it actually makes me realize how ridiculous it all really was. one of these ones, oh, it's just so wild. He even said this. He said, where is it? Hit by a bike bolt in the trachea from 5 feet away. Had to eat liquid food for a year and a half. That's a good one. He said his mosquito bites don't get hard. I remember one time he said his eyes.
I don't even know what that means.
Mosquito bites just don't get hard.
Don't get hard.
They don't even like register on his skin. He gets bit by a mosquito, nothing happens. I guess. He one time he said he looks at the sun so long that his eyes get tan. His eyes are tan because he looked at the sun when he was a kid. That's what it was. He's trained for the apocalypse. He was raped and found in a ditch. That's the one I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody said something about, I can't even remember how, but he said, yeah, I was raped and found in a ditch once. At like a dinner table conversation. Right. It's so wild. It's like no sense of like he would just say the wildest, craziest things. Been shot at and stabbed with a knife. I think that's about... Oh, is blind in one eye. That's another one. 30-0 in cage fighting. I forgot about that. That's so good.
I love this guy. I really do.
It makes me want to meet him and just ask him. Because you know what else is funny? My mom worked with his dad, and his dad was the same way. And that's what makes me think, again, like it must be some weird genetic thing. Because his dad would lie about stuff. And my mom was a nurse at the hospital, and his dad was like some weird, like I think he was a paramedic driver or something. And it was just the same exact guy, but older. And it's like there's been judges that are like pathological liars that like judges. So like they'll lie for years and years and years. It actually like gets them their job. And then eventually someone just figures out like, wait, this motherfucker's been lying about everything. Mm-hmm. People with jobs, there's probably like lawyers. It's actually crazy. And you know, I guess what it is, it makes me realize people don't think the way you think. You think people think the way you think. They do not.
Yeah, it took me a long time to like...
Crackheads remind me of that.
Yeah.
When I meet a crackhead, I'm like, I cannot even begin to relate to the experience you're in right now. Yeah. I can't even get close to it.
Yeah.
You know? And so like, but it's hard. It does take a lot of experience to do that. Because you'd like to think that people kind of think things through or at least think in things the way that you would think in things, you know, like I'm going to think this thing out and go all the way. And I'm not going to do something that wouldn't, I'm not going to tell you I hung out with 2 Chainz. Right. I'm not going to tell you I hung out with 2 Chainz because that would be crazy. Yeah. And then next week I can't tell you I hung out with Tyga. I can't just keep doing this. Mm-hmm. You're going to not believe me. And then if I do that forever, you're going to think I lie about everything. Because I'm thinking logically, right? But they're not thinking that way. Mm-mm. They're trying to impress you. They think it's cool. Oh, yeah. I don't know what they're thinking. I'm trying to make sense of what they're thinking, but that's the problem. Is there's probably no sense to be made. It's like the craziest thing in the world to me. That guy, I met him, and I feel like there was one other person I remember meeting in my life that did that same thing. Schizophrenic people too. Those people throw you for a loop. I don't know if you've ever met like a real schizophrenic person. That's wild.
I had a roommate that it like. Yeah, she had it before when she was young, and then it happened. Like I'd been living with her for 4 or 5 years.
Oh, like it came back.
She was like the greatest roommate ever, and then I just one summer, like over the course of like 2-3 weeks, all of a sudden she's like telling us that people are watching our house, and we're like, oh no, like, damn, I think she's like lost her mind. Like,
that's what it is. Yeah,
and it was like, yeah.
Yeah, because what do you even do? Like, what do you even do?
When we just had to reach out to her family, we didn't, know what to do.
Right.
I mean, she was doing shit that, we weren't going to call the cops on her, but it was that type of stuff. Like,
because she thinks people are like, she thinks she's actually in danger.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Big time.
They're panicking and they think they're in danger.
Yeah, she thought she was in like grave danger.
Yeah. And this is your friend. It's like your friend telling you, like, oh my God, these people are following us.
Well, we lived in like a comedy house, and she was the one who didn't do it. So we're, in our minds, we're like, thank God we have like a couple sane people here. Her being one of them. You know what I mean? Like, so glad that like not all the people we live with are crazy, and. then
you lose one.
and then we lost one. Yeah.
Damn. It gets you at that's how schizophrenia goes too, right? It gets you at an older age.
Well, we didn't know that, we after we had to reach out to the family saying, hey, this, like, we think she needs to be checked into a hospital. They were like, oh, okay. Well, this has happened before, but we did not know that.
Oh, see, I have a family member who goes through like episodes, and I don't know if it's like schizophrenia or like a bipolar, like mania. I don't know what you'd call it, but like he will fall into this episode of like chaotic thinking and like everybody's against him. He's being followed, all this, but then he'll come back out of it and things will get normal again for a while. And it's like a cycle, but it's certain situations that seem to trigger it, right? Like if he's in a bad relationship with a girl or something, that's going to bring on the symptoms of it. Like it's probably psychosomatic to an extent. There's a certain amount of like circumstances that lead you to that. But it's so crazy because like schizophrenia too, it's a complicated thing. Like it's not even really a specific thing. I think it's like it's kind of like autism where there's like 10 different bullet points, like symptoms you can have that make you schizophrenic. But really it's this broad, like you could be schizophrenic and have a completely different schizophrenia than this other person because of the way your schizophrenia works. You know? Dude,
but I think a lot of it just kind of, I think for the most part, revolves around like paranoia. Like really like danger lurks. And I think that's a lot of schizophrenia. Like it's,
I can't even imagine that. Like to actually think, because I feel like if I do mushrooms, it's like stimulated schizophrenia a little bit, you know? Like I feel like I'm kind of experiencing what that might be in a sense of like, oh, everything's interconnected and I can see everything coming together. Like that idea, that concept that all these things are connected, because that is kind of how the thing about schizophrenic people, the way they think too, is like it tends to be they research things really in depth. They can actually tell you a whole bunch of information about very specific topics. Like they usually are like obsessive over certain things. And so like I think because they're trying to get to the bottom of like everything. They're trying to get to the bottom of reality and this whole conspiracy against them that happens to be happening somehow. This paranoid conspiracy that they see to be happening that no one else sees but them. And that means it's even more real because obviously they're the only one seeing it. You know, like whatever it is.
Right.
Like it's like if you thought you were in the Truman Show for real. Like that's what that's what these people are going through. And so I feel like when you're on like a strong psychedelic drug like that, you get that same sense of like, oh, everything's interconnected and this all matters so much. It matters so immensely. Every moment matters so much. And I can't imagine being like on that 100% 24/7.
Right.
I feel like that's how they feel. It's always
it's
just elevated, you know? Dude, or like even being someone who has waves of that, like knowing you could just go back into that crazy schizophrenic state at any time.
Right, there's the anxiety of when's it going to happen again.
Yeah, I had a friend growing up too who, I don't know what it was with him, but he'd be cool for a while and then he would just turn on you and he would like start calling you names. One time I had it was my first microphone I ever recorded music with, a Rock Band microphone from the game where you'd plug it into the PlayStation with the USB.
I heard your roast battle shit was cool.
Yeah, dude, that went great.
Everybody said that was really cool.
Thank you. They want me coming back at Zanies all the time now, which is exciting for me just because like how I'm looking at it is I can't believe they're even allowing me to do that bullshit.
I believe it.
It's so ridiculous to me, but I guess that's exactly why it works.
I mean, it was Courtney's idea, and it's like usually an idea is like, that could work. But when she said that, I was like, that sounds like that's.
It went great.
Yeah.
Well, it sounded
like a good idea from concept, which isn't usually the case.
Well, it's so funny to me because like even the Power Hour thing is kind of like a silly thing in my mind that just went better than I could have expected. Because like what I was doing at Power Hour is I already knew there was like freestyling, and I was just thinking it would make sense. I think it was Rachel Thomas show. She goes to Power Hour all the time. As far as I know, you might have seen her there, but she told me to say things that the comic said. Like she just mentioned that in passing, like that would be a good way to do Power Hour. And I was like, that's exactly it. And so then I just like went the one time and listed a bunch of shit, and Courtney saw me do that, and that all snowballs into, but Roast Battle is the perfect place to do it because Roast Battle, I feel like roast battle in particular, it makes a lot of sense because it's a bunch of comics doing jokes that are only meant for that moment anyway.
Yeah.
So even me doing a freestyle that is all those jokes they wrote for just that moment.
That's perfect.
I'm not even doing their material. I'm doing like the stuff only here right now. So yeah, and it's funny too because for it, I wrote the first like 2 minutes and like freestyled the last minute and a half. But it is true that the last minute and a half, like 2 minutes where I'm freestyling, actually, I feel like that got more of a reaction than the first minute. So really, it's more like the callback shit that works. It's just I was nervous. I was thinking, I don't know if it's going to work if I freestyle this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's probably fine. It's probably a great room for that. I just always trick my brain. My brain, I don't know if you do this. My brain always tricks myself into thinking, oh, this is probably going to... I'm probably gonna fuck this up. I'm always thinking I'm probably gonna fuck this up.
You're
somehow.
gonna fuck it up or it's gonna bomb.
Yeah. And then it never happens.
I'm saying
almost always it's fine.
No, I'm saying, do you think you're like, oh, if I execute this right, it's gonna kill, or are you thinking I could do this right and it's still gonna
fuck this up? It's just fuck this up because I'm not even worried about bombing. If I execute well, I'll be happy with myself because really, like when I'm doing music, so I feel like as long as I did to my caliber of what I think is good, if I satisfy myself. Maybe this wasn't the place for that. Like I probably can rationalize somehow or figure out something. I wouldn't feel so bad about bombing, but it's fucking up because especially with a freestyle.
Right,
if you can fuck up a freestyle real easy, you just have to not say anything.
Well, you've probably been doing it long enough that you can save it real quick.
But again, I trick myself in my mind. I'm no, I'm an idiot. There's no way. And then every time it goes fine. But I'm always thinking like, I'm gonna say something totally. I'm gonna say something and these people are gonna turn on me. Who knows? I'm an idiot. I'll say something bad. It's a freestyle. I'll say something bad, but I never do. And it's. You never. What would you worry about fucking up, or would you worry about bombing? Like, what would you worry about?
That if I was trying to rap, like, I'd forget I was in public and probably use the N-word.
See, it's not the N-word. It's not the N-word I'm worried about. That one I've steered pretty clear of. But it's just like little stupid things where it's like, so, okay, just yesterday, because of Roast Battle, they wanted me to do the same exact thing, but it was like all women. I guess
I wouldn't use the N-word in a freestyle. I would just be thinking about rapping, and when I rap alone, like when I'm singing along to songs, like that I like, I say it like to myself. You know, like
I'd be worried about saying like in the wrong room. I stick my dick in this. It's ridiculous. Oh, look how big it is. I plop it on the table. Boom, boom. Every inch of this, like I'm just trying to be ridiculously profane, but that's funny to me.
You're worried about, yeah. Why,
but I don't know if that would work in every. Why on
earth would that not work in a comedy club?
You're right. That's what I'm saying. I'm just convincing myself stupid stuff. When it comes to like rapping along,
first of all, where would that? Yeah, that's a wild thing for someone to walk away from a show going, man, that rapper was too offensive.
He talked about his dick and stuff.
Yeah. That person is, it's like too lame to please. Because if you were doing opera music and you were like, set my dick on the table, that would be shocking.
You're right.
But when you're rapping and you're like, I set my dick on the table,
it's probably the best place for me to do it.
Yeah.
Because if I were to do that even at like a hip hop show, they'd be like, fucking, what is this guy doing? They'd probably actually get a little weirded out by me if I go too hard in that direction. Mm-hmm. The comedy show, they'd be like, yes. Like they'd be cheering. If I start rapping about like pussy and just like, check it. I've been driving my scooter down the street, like just random shit, they would cheer. Or if I do that at a rap show, they would start booing. They would not like if I just get ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'd like listen to rap in a way different way.
I feel like, well, it depends on the rap community you're in, I guess.
Yeah, the rappers are probably just, they don't give a damn you said set your dick on the table. They want to see what you rhyme with table. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, and
they want that six syllable rhyme scheme.
And you being white too, they would probably want to know if you can fucking even ride the beat. You know, if you're riding the beat, they're probably don't know the words you're saying. I've been like listening to rap as like the rapper's voice is just another instrument to the song. Like it's just he's just another instrument. He's not. I don't care what he says. Like I don't give a. Like I know 2 Chainz says a lot of cool shit, but I like the way his voice goes along with the beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's half of it. I think that's half of what it is when you're writing a song. Like, to me, the melody comes with the words. That's how I write everything. Like, and the melody is so important. Like, every single way, every single moment that the words are connecting, it has to be, like, it has to make sense melodically as well. Like, it's kind of like, in rap, it's a lot of...
What's melodically mean?
So, like, consonants and syllables even. Like, you have to have the correct... or vowels and consonants.
Oh, yeah. You're
where
just
it's like
talking about riding the beat,
I'm going
I
up and
guess.
down and
Yeah,
up and down and up and down all the time. Like I can't go I can't do something like that where it's just a bunch of consonants in a row. It's just like a big no-no in any form of writing. You just can't do stuff like that. But like say it's like if I for the roast battle thing, how I started it was I beat your ass with no paddle, sticks and stones, bitch, this a roast battle. That was like the first line that comes to my mind.
Right.
Because I'm trying to set up roast battle. So, that's the first thing I'm thinking. So it's something, I beat your ass with no paddle. And then sticks and stones just fits perfectly there because it just does. Like, it just makes sense. And also, it all makes sense in the context of the situation you're writing in. But like that's how it, what I'm saying is it all comes in that way where it's always like what rhythmically, melodically makes sense here to even say, and like finding ways to then format whatever I'm trying to say on top of that. Because it's kind of like comedy where in a comedic form you're doing that. You're trying to find the way to communicate the thought that you have through the joke and make it funny and make the part that's funny to you funny to them. But how do I do that? And how do I use this format to do that in a way that properly depicts what I am seeing in my head? You know, like how do I re-communicate that, you know?
Yeah, but you have to see it as an audience member watching you and like... If you're gonna impress anyone, all you have to do is rhyme battle with paddle.
I know.
And
I know. You're right, dude. You're right.
Once you rhyme battle with paddle, everybody's like, ooh, but you didn't do nothing. But it's still good though.
I know you're right.
Everybody can do it, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I know
though.
Exactly what you're saying.
I don't think anybody's like, ooh, that sticks and stones line like really fit. Like no one's. Everybody after you said paddle was like, ooh, like nobody cares. Like you care.
Yeah,
but,
I'm torn on it because like part of me says like I know how a lot of this shit kind of goes, and it's like it'll live on in a different format at the very least. Like with them, with the way that roast battle works, they're gonna put all that shit on the internet. So that is gonna go somewhere where it will kind of, you could take it and break it down in a way you couldn't if you just saw it live. So that is nice to have that second life in a way.
Yeah.
And something like that works really well there because you could even watch the episode back and then see, oh, he's talking about this thing. Mm-hmm. If I'm callbacking stuff throughout the thing, you can literally go back and see it. So that's cool. But that's what I was saying about like when I freestyle the second half. That's the part that people respond more to because it's like I'm just saying the shit that the audience already saw, and in a way, I'm still respecting the intelligence of the audience. Like they're smart for remembering all the shit that I'm calling back.
I'm not dissing the audience's intelligence by saying they go crazy.
They're not trying to overanalyze.
But what you're doing is just making a vibe. Like you're not really like no one's like, oh, that was a smart line. I think you're just and now the part where you said once it's like recorded and out, then there might be that second life for people who are really into rap, like really analyze what you're talking about, or like the things you're saying in between the rhymes. But
do you feel like that with comedy? Do you feel like you can't like over intellectualize it and like overthink a joke? Like it's better if you just kind of just be the vibe of it and just think what's funny about it and not overthink it, you mean?
It depends. Like, I don't know. I would say it depends on the joke. Like, if it's a real good joke, like, then yeah, I care about the wording of it. But there's stuff that ain't that great of a joke that I guess, when you're doing it long enough, you know that your vibe is comedic, is like that of a comedian.
Yeah.
So you can make it funnier just by the vibe you're kind of putting out.
How long have you done comedy for?
11, 12 years. Since I was 28, and I'm 39 now.
Wow, I've done music for about 13 years.
Yeah.
So you must have started around like 2014, 2013?
We're in 2025.
Yeah, let's do some math real quick.
I'm 39. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, 2014. Yeah, I would have moved here 2016. Yeah, probably around 2015. 2014.
And it was right before you moved here.
No, I was in Georgia for 2 years, and then I moved here.
But that's what I mean by right before. At least a couple of years before.
Oh, a couple of years.
Yeah. So you just, did you not like the comedy scene there? It wasn't, you felt like you couldn't grow there? What made you want to come here?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Savannah, Georgia was like, I wasn't even in like Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Savannah, Georgia was, I don't even know if you would call it a scene.
Nothing.
It was kind of just a coincidence that there was like...
coincidental scene.
It was kind of a coincidental scene. Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, because there just happened, like when I started, or the first time I went to an open mic in Savannah, I assumed it was going to be like crackheads there, like just homeless people just talking dumb.
Yeah.
And that I was the only one that like had like some written jokes down that I was like, man, I'd like to see if I was any good at this. But then I got there and there was like a group of people that like 6 or 7 of us that genuinely were all pursuing stand-up.
Okay.
And so we just happened to be in Savannah at the same time. So we kind of had like a 10 to 15 person like scene.
That's a nice scene. Pretty close knit.
Very close knit.
Pretty close together.
Yeah.
Everybody really does know everybody.
Everybody knew everybody. And yeah, but
the same 2 open mics every week or whatever it is, right? It can't be that many.
Literally what it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, one or two shows a month.
Yeah. For 2 years, that's what it was.
Well, I was making trips up to Atlanta when I could, and I would do as much as I could there.
And there's a lot more happening in Atlanta.
They got they have an actual scene.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
you never thought about moving there though.
In my mind, I was just like, well, what happened was I did a couple shows in Savannah, and it happened twice where people came up to me after the show and said that they were from Chicago and that they go to comedy shows all the time and that they thought I would do really well in Chicago. And I just was in my mind, I'm moving to Chicago. And because all my, like the other people in Savannah that wanted to be stand-ups, that's where they were going to go, was Atlanta. And I don't know, I just had it in my mind, I'm going to Chicago.
Yeah. And then you did.
And then I did.
How was that? Like, did you come here first? Because I imagine when I moved here, I mean, did you have savings? Did you at least have that? Did you have anything?
So I had a house, right?
Okay.
In Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I had been working since I was like 20, like a real job. You know, I always had like the little part-time shit, but finally had like a full-time 9 to 5 type job.
Yeah, shout out my warehouses.
Shout out, forklift certified. And so, what were we talking about?
Moving.
Oh, so I sold my house before I moved. And off of that, I think I made like $15,000.
Oh, damn.
So I used pretty much like half that to pay off any debt that I had. All debt. Paid all that off. And then When I moved to Chicago, I probably had like maybe $5,000. And I didn't have to, because I was leaving a Target warehouse, moving to Chicago to work in a Target store. So I was just transferring, right? So I had it to where I wasn't going to start working for like 2 or 3 months until, like, I wanted a nice little 3-month break of not working.
Once you got here.
Once I got here.
Okay.
Because, I never had more than like a week off in like 8 years, from working a 9-to-5 job. So at the end of that 3 months, I had no money left. Like, it was everything from selling my house was gone.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So you just got a job and started from basically zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were doing comedy during those 3 months at the very least, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, when you move to like a bigger city like Chicago without any sort of, no one knows who you are.
Right.
Like, I thought it was pretty funny in Georgia, but nobody knows that. And so, yeah, just like, it's literally like being your first day of stand-up, like standing in line to sign up for an open mic.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of times, where it's like, but especially when it's like a smaller scene that you come from. Like Marco Sereno, he was telling me, like, he's from, I don't want to get it wrong, I want to say it's Amsterdam. I'm probably going to get it wrong.
Like
the country.
Really?
Yeah. He's from there. And so he was doing good there. He was like doing pretty good in that circuit. Like, oh, damn, I'm pretty popular in my country. And then he comes to Chicago and it's like what you just said, starting from nothing. Mm-hmm. You'd think like, oh, I got all this stature somewhere. It does not translate at all. Mm-mm. Like, even if you were to, like, you now just picked up and moved ship to a different city. It's the same exact story all over again. Yep. You go to New York, it's square zero. Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
How long?
Can you pause for a second? Yeah.
The work room, the work area, Mm-hmm. So you can't have animals climbing all over people all the time. You just can't have it. Also, if I'm like recording music, it's better to not have the animals in the room sometimes. So there's that, and then what else is there? What else is there? There's something else I was going to say. Oh, when the house I lived in before, I had like built, it was because my sister was renting out a house in Flint. That's how I ended up in Flint. And it was like a great situation. I'm paying $400 a month for rent. I have a whole house, basically. Right. That's what it was. And I had built walls in the room upstairs because it's just one bedroom upstairs. So it's basically like I created a studio. And that was how I did the podcast, is I had this couch and I had me. And it was nice because you could have it like this. But I was trying to find an apartment where I could redo that, and this is as close as it gets. I feel like it's funny because I don't know. I don't know how.
Where are you from? Are you from Michigan?
Yeah, I'm from Michigan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I moved here June 2023.
What were you doing? For water in Flint? Is that like as big of a deal as they always said it was?
It is as big of a deal as they said it was. But I would say I don't think they changed out the pipes in the houses for every house, because how are they going to do that? That means that they're going to go inside of the house and take out the pipes of every house. They didn't do that. They did systematically go through and like in front of houses, they would open up the lawn or whatever and go under and change the pipes. So they changed all the pipes, those pipes. But they didn't go through every single house and take out the lead pipes in the house. That's your responsibility. So to me, what I'm thinking, because that's the part they don't tell you. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the caveat. I'm thinking, well, okay, you guys aren't going through house to house to house and fixing everything. You're just fixing like the outside, not the actual inner pipes of the house where there's still lead in the pipes.
Right.
So there's probably still that. And there's also the fact that like it's just so crazy that like there wasn't like proper government assistance. Like Obama, there's like a thing that it was in a Michael Moore documentary where Obama came to Flint and he's like, he's downplaying the whole thing. He's like, maybe when I was a kid, I chipped a little lead paint off the wall and ate it. Like he said something like that, I swear to God. And then like he asks for a glass of water and everybody, it's like in Flint and there's a whole audience and they're like, no! no. Like they start screaming no, and he's like, no, tap water. It's all right. I want a little bit, and then he'd like.
I love your Obama impression.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then
you watch It's Always Sunny?
Yeah.
You remember Caitlin Olsen's Obama impression?
Oh no, I don't remember.
Her and Dennis get into an argument. I like this. This should be my podcast personality, is just saying about, like, funny stuff I've seen on TV.
Yo, you remember this thing?
Yeah, I just want to never original. Honestly, I should just do that as stand-up.
That's pretty good.
I should walk up.
How could they dislike you?
Yeah, I should be like, hey, you guys like It's Always Sunny? You remember that episode?
Just always bringing up the best parts.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, there's like, her and Dennis are getting into an argument over who does better impressions.
Yeah.
And she tells him to do CCH Pounder, and they're like, who the fuck is that? And it's like an older black lady who always plays like a stern black lady, like in movies. Mm-hmm. And so to make hers difficult, they're like, well, I'll give you a black man, do Obama. And she's like, all right, why Congress always be all up in my ass and shit? And they're like, whoa.
No, I haven't seen that. What season is that? Do you know? Is that like newer? Is that a newer one?
Nah. I want to say probably like the 10th or 11th season, because that's the one where they're on that cruise ship.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've seen like so much of that show. I think that's about where, like, I've seen up to like season 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And then I slowed down because what are they on now? Like 18?
Yeah. I don't think I've seen it in a few years.
That's crazy how long that show's been going. It's the only one, I think, like live action comedy that's.
It's a little different now than like old shows, because I don't know how many episodes they're up to, but like, when shows like Seinfeld and Friends and Raymond and all that shit were out, they did like 25 episodes a season.
Yeah.
And Sonny does like 10.
Yeah. And it's the same like annually. Like it's not it's every year, just like Seinfeld would be, Yeah. I don't know though, because like wouldn't you say though that Sonny's is at least more produced? Like Always Sunny's more produced than something like Seinfeld would be.
Well, I'm talking about episodes, like how many episodes they've had a lot of seasons, but not as many episodes as a lot of other shows.
Like if you were to actually
like
compare.
they're a very long running show, but they
you're right.
They're kind of allowed to, or I would say it can be more long running because they're doing a lot less episodes.
Huh. That's a good question. Let's see. How many episodes of Seinfeld are there? And then how many episodes of Always Sunny have they done? So we're going to see Seinfeld first.
If I just said 20 episodes by like 8, which is like 180, I would say Seinfeld, is that 200 episodes probably?
Seinfeld's 180.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very close. Very close.
And then,
how many seasons of Seinfeld did you say? Do you know?
8 or 9 maybe.
Always Sunny episode number.
Probably 180 as well.
Episode count. Here we go. It is 161. They're catching up.
Yeah.
So even with that in consideration, give them 20 more episodes, 2 more seasons, and they've caught up to Seinfeld. But I wonder if you did it that way. What is the number? Like, what's the top number of episodes for a weekly episode, a weekly episodic comedy show? Highest number of episodes, because I don't even think Seinfeld can't be it. It's not 180. It's got to be like 300, 400. Like MASH, isn't that one that was on forever? Isn't that one of those shows?
I don't know how many episodes they were doing, but I bet you'd be surprised. I know Tyler Perry had a couple, like,
oh, really?
He had a couple sitcoms at one time. One was called Meet the Browns, and one was called something else, and it was a show that I didn't know anyone who watched that show. Not one. And I mean like black people as well. I don't know one black person that watched Meet the Browns. Mm-hmm. And flipping through the channels, and I saw like Meet the Browns was on, and the episode said 340 something. I'm like, how the fuck is there 340 episodes of a show? I've never met one person who watches Meet the Browns.
Oh, we got to see. This is the final one. Meet the Browns episode count. If it's in the 3...
Is it? Yeah.
We're going to get to the bottom of this one.
Yeah, let's get to the bottom.
It's an American sitcom. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Get a drum roll. An imaginary drum roll is happening. It is just 140. The TV lied to you.
No, maybe... Well, there was 2 shows. There was Meet the Browns and he had one other one.
House of Pain.
House of Pain.
Yeah, 13 seasons. 13 seasons on House of Pain. A lot more than Meet the Browns.
What is it?
Let's see the episode count.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, all right. This is probably the one because the other one had like 3 or 4. 254.
Yeah.
254. More episodes than any other television series of any genre with a predominantly African American cast. So there probably is another one that breaks the record. But still, wait, this one says since its revival in 2020, House of Pain aired more episodes, a total of 377. It got revived.
So it was House of Pain I was looking at.
It must be 377.
Yeah. And it was like one when I saw the episode count, and I'm like, I've never met anyone. I mean, anyone who watches House of Pain.
I just heard of this show just now.
Yeah.
It must be doing well. I mean, Tyler Perry is I don't know. I don't think I'm Tyler Perry's target audience is the problem.
No.
But then again, like, you've probably met enough people and you've never heard it once, never House of Pain once. I don't think I've ever heard it either.
I know fans of like the Medea stuff. But
yeah, exactly. I feel like I've heard of that.
Yeah, I know like his movies, like I can agree with his movies doing well because I know a lot of people that watch them. But the show, I was like, I don't know. It was just always on.
Started in 2006.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, you've heard of the station TBS, right?
Yeah,
it was like one of their like original programming, but it's just like, I don't know.
So maybe people with like basic cable probably saw it a lot too.
I mean, I know a lot of people with basic cable though. I mean,
right.
You know, like, yeah, once you get out of the city, like, yeah, everybody's got basic cable. Like,
to me, it's kind of inspirational. If they made 370 episodes and nobody knows what it is, like, that means that you can follow your dreams.
Yeah, for real.
That means follow your dreams.
Yeah.
Because people don't even have to know what you are, and you can make 370 episodes of this thing. 2006, that's 19 years?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bruh. Damn. House of Pain. And it was a movie. I think there was a movie in 2009. I don't know if the movie's connected. I thought it was.
If it's Tyler Perry, then yeah.
Tyler Perry is kind of like an industry of his own.
Nah, House of Pain, I believe, is like, I think that's like a white movie.
Is it?
Yeah, House of Pain.
This one too. I saw it pop up when I was typing in.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a
House of Pain white movie. Is House of Pain a white movie?
Or like the star of House of Pain is like Steve Martin or some shit. Like,
oh, maybe it's. I swear it popped up. Movie. It said 2009 movie. I could have. Oh, 2008. Nope, no movie. I'm just spreading lies. Out here.
Bringing Down the House? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Bringing Down the House. That sounds like a movie. That one sounds real. Yep, 2003. That is Steve Martin and Queen Latifah.
God damn. Dude.
Got 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. Is it a good movie? Do you remember if it's a good movie?
No, I don't think I ever saw it. It's just like a very, like, why the fuck do I know that? I've never seen that movie, but how the fuck did I know that?
You ever like remember names that you didn't even know you knew?
I have a wild memory for stuff that will never help me in life.
That's why that could be good for your stage thing. If you just to remember random shit and just say, hey guys, you remember that thing?
Yeah.
That's probably perfect. The perfect use for that talent and particular.
It is, yeah.
But I feel like I'm the same way. You know, I feel like I remember the dumbest things. But then, you know, what makes it even worse is when you don't remember like things that would actually be useful. Like, you know, because it would be good if you just remembered everything and you had a good memory. But instead, you just remember all this random information that only applies to like very specific. You remember bringing down the house?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not very useful.
I've had to get my wife, I probably have asked her 40, 50 times to upload clips of mine to an email because I don't know how to do that.
Right, yeah.
But when I'm watching like an NFL game, a wide receiver catches a pass, my buddy will be like, where'd he go to college? And I know where he went. And I don't know how I know because I don't remember watching him in college. Like, I don't. And I don't know how I know that, but I do. It's like, it's a great party trick. I mean, it's impressive. I impress myself sometimes. Like, when I say the name of the college and they're like, holy shit, that's right. And I'm like, it is? Like, I was kind of guessing, but damn. I mean, I had to have known somehow. Because you can't just randomly guess any college and that's right.
Do you think do you think you're learning at some point and you just forgot that you learned? Well, or do you think you just sense it?
No, well, I think what happened was it was always something I was good at, like, and I had another friend of mine who was good at it. So that's what we did when we would watch football, like,
you guess where they went to college?
Guess where the player went to college. And then I think over time, like when I would watch a game, when there's a player that I don't know, it usually gets mentioned during the game. Oh, and so I probably started like
absorbing it.
Like actively absorbing it then, you know.
Wow, that is a good party trick. And it is like totally useless information.
It's so useless.
There's no good use for it outside of that context.
Yeah. And you know, have you ever been around like my dad's a good example of someone who just in the world, I'm thinking, you know, my dad's not like a smart guy.
Right.
But then when I would have to go to work with him, like when he was an electrician, when I would see the way he operated around work, he looked like a smart guy. You know what I mean? Like his thing, he's very intelligent at.
Right.
But yeah, other shit like.
Yeah, like he excels in this one category. You just never saw that before.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I feel like isn't that everything though in a way? Like, don't you excel at everything? Yeah.
But there's
ways?
Also people that are kind of like have like a little like, they have like a mind for everything a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
And yeah, I don't think my dad had that.
No.
But it was just impressive for some. I'm kind of, you know, my dad's great, but I'm looking at him like he's kind of dumb. But then
and then you see that.
And then I get around him in his work environment and I'm like, oh no, he is, you know, because being an electrician is not easy, you know, so he has to be somewhat smart.
And you have to, it's like an expertise, it's an actual trade. Yeah. So you're watching him like problem solve in real time.
And
like,
then also you see the other people that work with him are having to go to him with questions, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then so you get to see that whole other side, like, of, oh, this is just something he knows a lot about. It's actually very impressive.
Yeah. I mean, what always interests me about stuff like that too is people who are even attracted to trades. Like I think my cousin got into heating and cooling. I just couldn't even like make myself care enough about being an electrician or being into heating and cooling. It is a great skill to have. Yeah. It is like a great thing to know how to do. Yeah. And oh my God, like just thinking about that all the time, being able to run into a house and think, how is this wired? You know, I don't know if I got time to think about that.
Well, I don't know. The age of like my dad getting into construction was more like, I think that's just what you did.
Oh, it's construction.
It's construction. I mean, he started off as a construction worker, but eventually became an electrician.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he didn't get into construction because he likes the way things are built or like he is fascinated by wiring. It was more like, I got to get a job.
Yeah.
And I think maybe like my generation and younger like would get into construction because they're fascinated by construction. Where I think his generation was just like whatever the closest job is, you just get it.
Yeah.
And then eventually, if you're, somewhat sane, you learn it over time.
Construction's an interesting work environment. For sure. I feel like it's always just people on drugs.
Yeah. It is. It's 100%. Yeah, well, not 100%, but yeah.
Well, good like 80%,
80,
like
bro,
60%.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's high. It's a high percentage.
If you want to, drugs and alcohol. I would say not all of them were doing drugs, but everybody was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Well, and usually they're deep into whatever they're doing. Like whatever it is they're doing, they're in deep.
Yeah.
They're doing it at work, but only to a limit. Only to a limit. They can still work. They're also like, they're all a little bit crazy a lot of the time. The person running the business is like always an interesting dude. Like the guy who's making this all happen, who's hiring all these guys. He's always an interesting character. Like construction is, and also like there's this expectation in construction. Like, yeah, if you like break a bone or like destroy your body, like that sucks. But like, hopefully you come back in like 2 weeks or so. Like we hope you heal quickly.
Yeah, it's like being in the NFL.
If you lose a finger, like we hope you're all good. You're gonna
Right.
come to work on Monday because we're sorry about your finger, but you're still scheduled for Monday. Like it's like I remember my friend cut his finger off. I worked construction one day and I was like, damn, I don't know if this is for me. I really just realized what it actually is.
It's meant for drug addicts and alcoholics because I mean, those people want to do drugs and alcohol, and so they have to work somewhere where they can do it. Like, and I mean, I've seen like Instagram videos of people like down talking like construction people who drink on the job, and I'm just like, shut up. Like
the whole industry.
The building you're fucking making this podcast from is built by an alcoholic. Like, yeah. No, I mean, if I was a construction worker, I would be drinking at work.
Yeah. I feel like Coke's a big thing with construction workers.
The only difference, I don't know how long you can last in the construction world being a cokehead.
Yeah, there's
just because of you can stay in construction your whole life just by being reliable.
Yeah.
And alcoholics can be reliable, I feel. And cokeheads, I think cokeheads are going to be calling in to work a lot more than, and that's how people don't stick around construction.
Yeah, you're right.
Because you can be bad at it for as long as you want. If you show up to work on time every day, like, they'll fuck with you.
Yeah.
But if, you start calling in, and it's usually drug users.
Cokeheads.
Yeah.
Cokeheads do that a lot?
Yeah.
They sleep in or they're up all night.
Up all night would be it's like,
Yeah, that makes sense. Unless you're like some weird breed of cokehead that can like go to work the next day. You're right. Cokehead would probably burn you out in this weird way. I feel like, I don't know enough about like, there's not like meth going on in the construction world. Not a whole lot of meth. Not a whole lot of crack.
You can't hide meth.
No, I guess you can't.
Can't really hide crack and meth. Like, I mean, it's just so apparent, like on your face.
Yeah.
It's like such an easy face to tell.
Yeah. Damn, dude. I remember them showing us that in school. I remember like that being, I don't know if they showed you that in like the drug awareness program where it'd be like, this is your face. Or they would show you like mugshots of people. And then like over the years throughout their drug use, they just look worse and worse. Just things like that to scare you away.
Yeah.
I remember when they told us not to snort pixie dust. Like, this is what can happen to your nose if you snort pixie dust.
Like the sugar?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You could, like, fuck up your nose snorting pixie dust.
Yeah. I had a little duster phase in high school.
Yeah.
That was wild.
That is wild. Duster, like the spray and stuff. Yeah, I never got into that.
Man, I did it, like, probably 10 times, but it is... It is a funny feeling. But it only lasts like 30, 45 seconds.
Well, it's like, did you ever hear like of the galaxy gas stuff they have now? Isn't it kind of similar where it's like, because they're huffing like nitrous oxide or something? Like, it can't be that different.
Probably.
What is even in that stuff? The duster.
I don't know. It's like one of those things when you're in a group of people and they start doing it, like you don't pass, you know?
Oh, I better do it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whippets too. Whippets are the one I've seen come around. Yeah. I'd be too scared to do a whippet because I don't understand like what is even happening when you do a whippet. Is it just like your brain is getting like ooh, and then you just slowly
the times I've done them, I was like drinking all night. I don't really remember what it did to me.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about whippets is that I guess gay guys like them a lot because it loosens your asshole.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Shout out to the gay people. The gay community could use that type of advice.
Yeah, really. That's better than my knowing where people went to college. Yeah.
That's another fun fact you could say on stage.
I like having fun facts.
I don't feel like I have good, like, if someone asked me to whip out a fun fact, like, if someone told me, like, just tell me something interesting, I don't think I could just pull it out. I think that's the problem. Like, I could say interesting things, but I can't, like, come up with them on the spot, you know? Like, I'm not good at that.
Whenever I catch, like, a story like that, like you want to hear where the middle finger comes from?
Yes.
All right. So, comes from when the when the settlers were going through America and they were when they started going to war with the Native Americans, one thing they would do is when they would go through like a tribe, they would cut off the middle finger of all the young boys in the tribe so that when they grew older, they wouldn't be able to shoot a bow and arrow. And so, when the day would come when they would like line up across from each other for battle, all the Native Americans would do this, like to show them, hey, we still have our middle finger.
Like we can shoot this bow at you because we still got our middle finger.
Yeah.
Really? That's the origin.
Okay, so it's a fun story to tell because I heard it one time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I used to do this as a bit too. Like I really did overhear this one time. And I like totally accepted it as fact. And
I was about to.
Yeah. I've been around like somebody else looked it up and had a whole different reason, but yeah, my whole joke was about me reciting that as fact and how I've probably told that story to like hundreds of people.
It sounds so real.
And I have no idea if that's true or not.
I kind of want to believe it.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like a fun.
Yeah, I think, people have looked it up before, and it was other things.
You shoot a bow with your middle finger.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Because that's like the part to me that sold the story. I was like, oh, you do shoot a bow with your middle finger.
Yeah, that's why I bought it.
Yeah. You remember
and it could still be true as well.
Do you remember where you heard this?
At a bar. No, my bit would end with me being like, I'd be like, since I've heard that story, I've probably told 400 or 500 people, and I have no idea if it's true or not. Which brings me to religion, yeah.
It's probably true, dude. It could even be that's the true story, and you just overheard the true story, and there's this myth that's spreading.
It could be true. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't looked into it that much.
The middle finger. When I was in kindergarten, I want to say, maybe it was first grade, I remember like the day before school, I was doing this and I was like, wow, I can hold up just my middle finger. That's crazy. I can hold up just my middle finger. That's literally what I thought. Mm-hmm. And so the next day at school, I'm like looking at this little girl and I say to her, hey, look. And I do that.
Right.
And she goes, ah!
Nice.
And screams and runs over to the teacher.
She already knew what it was.
Yeah, I was so confused.
She should have been in more trouble, I feel.
Right?
For knowing what it was.
Like, why would you know that? Mm-hmm. We're in kindergarten.
You're a troublemaker.
Yeah. But the thing is, there was no judge, jury, nothing. The teacher, I remember, she just like looked over, kind of confused, and I just got out of it easy. And that's how I learned what flipping people off was, through that little girl's reaction.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the right way to learn. That was actually a really good way to learn. But it was like so innocent. I remember thinking the day before, wow, I can do that. That's so cool. I can't do the Spock thing. So I think like I was just excited that my hands were flexible enough, and I still can barely do it. Like if you look, I can't really do it like this. I don't know what's wrong with my hands.
I got a strong one.
Yeah, I can't do that. Like I have to keep my pointer finger up, because if I try to put my pointer finger down, like if a doctor is watching this and they can tell me it's like the opposite of double jointed, is that what that is? I don't know. I don't have flexible hands. It makes me think I can't play guitar. I could probably not play guitar, because if you're trying to play guitar, you're trying to like do things like this. I can barely move my fingers.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, you weren't. Yeah,
I just wasn't made for that.
That's why you got an MC.
That's why I got to use my voice.
Yeah.
I literally
can't.
Well,
no, you kind of need it, though. If you're going to rap, though, you're going to need to be able to do this picture a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that. Well,
do you have a lot of pictures of you doing that?
No. I need more pictures of me flipping off cameras.
Yeah, I don't think you're a rapper until you do that.
I got to look like extra mad when I do it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed off.
Right.
Like, because that's the thing. You have to, like, that's one thing I don't do right as a rapper. I don't look angry in pictures. Yeah. Because most rappers kind of have this, like, you don't want to get looked at. Yeah. You don't want to get looked at. And I'm too nice. I'm not. I need to be less nice in photographs.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, not too many pictures of rappers like
being all jolly,
smiling.
Yeah, and I'm always like, I'm like super duper. I'm going the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when a photographer like tells a rapper to say cheese, they're like cheese, like
yeah, cheese but gangsta.
Yeah,
yeah, cheese, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's all I get is cheese.
Maybe I just need a grill.
Matter of fact, that is a 2 Chainz line.
All I get is cheese.
All I get is cheese, like I'm taking pictures.
Yeah, yeah, it's a bar.
Oh, by the way, damn, I should have remembered about you rapping, because that's like I do that in my spare time. Is sometimes I write down lines for 2 Chainz.
Yeah,
like that. I feel like if I ever met him, I'd be like, here, you can use these.
You got ghostwriter bars?
They're sick too, and
dude. I'm not gonna ask you to reveal them here right now.
I mean, I know they're good. I can't remember all of them. I know I got one hook for them that goes, "Oh, you having bad days? We eating crab legs," and then the beat drops like,
"Oh, you having bad days? We eating crab legs."
Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever the 2 Chainz shit is, and then 2 Chainz starts rapping about like crab legs or something, Yeah, you having bad days, we eating crab. How'd that come to you? You just had crab legs that day?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Wow. Yeah, it was about like, there's something balling about crab legs. So anytime something...
It's true.
Anytime something comes like that I just see, and then I'm like, oh, that's balling.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm like, 2 Chainz would rap about that.
2 Chainz. You only have 1 chain. Mm-hmm. Does he actually wear 2 chains?
No, he wears like 6.
Yeah, it's kind of false advertising at that point.
No, he's just like, he probably started with 2, but as the legend grows, you add chains. Like, I have 1 because I only deserve 1.
You think so?
And then
it's kind of like a soldier, like with 1 badge.
Exactly.
You need to earn the rest.
As I rise to the top, you will see more and more chains.
I like that. Yeah. I never thought of it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are stripes, dude.
But I mean, that's such a big. When you get the 2nd chain, like, how do you even know?
I don't know. I just know. I'll know.
I know what you mean, but that's like, man, that's such a. Well, if you had to predict when your 2nd chain comes, and you think it's like 2 years, 5 years, if you were like try to predict the future, when you see yourself wearing 2 chains, when is it? Like, how do the people know when you've really risen to 2 chain notoriety?
Well, like I'm saying, I'll know.
You'll
like because if I like put it on me like, oh, when I put out my first recording, that's when I'll do a second chain. But then what if I put out the recording and there's like 10,000 views?
It's not 2 chain material.
It's not 2 chain. Why do I have a second chain when 10,000 people saw this?
Yeah.
And but I don't want to do it at like a number mark because it'll feel too planned.
Dude, I love this idea.
I want to get off stage one night or put something out one night and then wake up the next morning and be like, it's time. It's time for the second chain.
This is like so great because one day you will rise and there will be another chain on you and everyone will know.
But see, now I got to be careful about it though because I have a wife now, and once the second chain comes, I don't want her to feel like she's falling behind.
Right.
So got to be strategic.
I
need something special for her to happen. And then I can take the chain out. I don't want her to feel like she's, falling behind once I get a second chain.
Yeah, you don't want to paint the wrong picture. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if I told you that this is actually a wedding chain.
Is it really?
Yeah, it really is.
A wedding chain.
Yeah.
That's the true origin story?
Well, what, origin story of this one?
Yeah, of the chain.
Yeah.
It's a wedding chain.
Yeah.
This isn't like the middle finger thing.
No, this isn't. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sure once books are written about me, there will be different origin stories for the chain, but I'll give you the true one.
Okay. You're like a Greek god with the...
Well, no, this ain't even an origin story. Not the wedding chain.
Not the wedding chain.
No. First, I started wearing a chain... I don't know. I've probably been doing stand-up like 5 or 6 years at that point. And a friend of mine had a chain like this on, but it was a girl.
Okay.
And we were just out drinking, and I was like, damn, that chain looks badass, And then it was more like, oh, let me put it on. And I put it on, and like just a couple of buddies of mine like came up to make fun of me for having a chain on, and then midway they were like, actually it looks pretty cool. And then I just started kind of wearing it as a goof, and then I just got too comfortable with it. So then, after I proposed to my wife, we got, rings for each other, and the wedding band she got me, I put it on, like it was very like matter of fact, my dad gave my wife his. So it wasn't like she had to pay for it. And I put it on. I was like, I don't think I'm a ring guy. I don't like having a ring on. And so I was just like, this will be my ring.
That worked?
Mm-hmm.
She's cool with that?
Oh, yeah, cool with it. And we were able to do like a funny thing like at the ceremony where she put the chain on me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So the chain instead of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like, why did you not want the ring? What was the thought process with that?
Oh, I just did not. It wasn't like comfortable having it on. And then like the job I do, I'm fucking doing dishes a lot, and I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be like a nuisance, like
right.
And so I didn't want to have to deal with taking it on and off all the time.
Yeah.
And
you never really wear like a watch or anything like that either?
No, I don't like watches either. Yeah, it sounds skeptical from like like a different way. Like my wife does not care. She totally understood. And,
if it were a relationship that didn't have good trust, I imagine that'd be a tough ask,
right? Yeah,
baby, I know we had problems in the past, but can I just not wear the ring?
Yeah, and my wife don't even like when I say it, but it. I mean, I'm not going to cheat just because I wouldn't do that. But I've told her, I'm like, I'm too lazy to cheat on you. I've worked with too many people that went through that, and I've seen too many movies cheating on somebody looks like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like to deal with.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And there's no way I could get away with it.
No.
Absolutely no way.
No.
And not because I would admit it to her. It would just be so fucking
impossible.
Yeah.
It'd be like, it'd be like having, because for one, there's just like a natural like snowball of cheating on somebody that has to occur. Like you are probably thinking in your mind when you go to cheat on somebody, this is gonna be like a one-time thing. It's over. It's all good. But that's probably like never the case. It's always like the person that you cheated with is now like got this weird attachment to you. Like it's got to be that, or like it's just lingering in the background. Maybe even you thought it was over, but it comes back to get you like 2 years later. It's always something. There's just no way cheating would be like a good, proper choice ever. It's probably always goes bad.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't look good. You can't look good if you're the person who cheated on somebody. There's no like good out in that one. No like proper lawyer could explain their way out of it. You know, there's just no way. It's a bad look. Yeah. I'd be really bad at cheating on somebody too. I think I'm too lazy. I think I don't like have the time for that. You know, I would feel like, because then you got to think about things. Then all of a sudden you're considering things as you talk. Like that's another thing. You'd have to use brain power. Like, oh, I can't mention this and this and this. I can't even do that. Like I'm too honest with people.
Yeah.
I would just fail.
Yeah, and the reason I say lazy is I like this is a great line I got from, of all places, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh yes.
So you know the dad on the show, he's like the funniest one, right? And there's like an episode where there's like a identity mix-up, and it kind of makes it look like Raymond is cheating on his wife, right? But he's obviously not. It was just they got like names mixed up or some shit. But so the dad, when he hears this, he's just like, Ray, what have I always told you? When you're having problems with your woman, you don't go out and get another woman. Because now all you have is two problems. And it was so true, right?
Yeah, great advice.
Yeah, I mean,
you just don't need that. You just don't need that in your life.
I mean, it's like you literally are now about to piss off two women. Like you're not like
there's no way you don't.
Yeah.
There's no way that doesn't happen.
Right.
It's just going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bad. And then you have people who just cheat over and over.
Right.
Just cheat constantly.
Which those people are kind of cool. Because I don't think they give a fuck. Like, they're not like, oh, I got a pissed off woman on my hands. They're like, on to the next one.
Hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
they're on their grind.
But for the guys out there that genuinely care how their woman feels and like how their relationship is going, if you cheat, I mean, it's just your relationship is gonna suck because it's just so hard to get away with anything these days.
These days, especially, right? Because everything is more like interconnected than ever before.
Yeah,
for real. Yeah. Especially if you're in a community that your significant other is also in. That's probably a big problem if you were gonna do something like that. I mean, obviously,
and it happens all the time.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, how did you think you would ever get away with it? Like, in what world was no one gonna find out? Yeah, people are wild, aren't they?
Yeah, it's so funny.
To me, it's like the liar thing. It just blows my mind the things I see people do. I'm like, okay, well, clearly people don't think like me because I would have never made that choice.
Right.
But people do those things all the time.
Right.
It's just it's entertainment almost. It's entertaining to watch the way the world turns.
A good meltdown in the comedy community can kind of revive you for like a week, like of just watching a whole meltdown.
How often are there meltdowns? I don't know how in tune I am with things. I know you can keep track of these things on like the Facebook pages. There's good Facebook group communities that kind of keep you up to date if there's a good thing that happens. I mean, I don't know where else I find out about. Sometimes I'll see on Instagram stories a good thing or two that goes down. You know, I try to keep up with the drama. I like to know what's going on.
I mean, it's fun. It's a good like a good comment section thread.
You need that every now and then.
It can entertain you for like an hour.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've seen some of the funniest shit ever said on those. Like, it's like, I've known comedians who, like, never really seen them like crush on stage before.
Yeah.
Fucking rule in the comment section. Like, say the funniest comments ever.
Like they're built for that.
Yeah. You're just like, damn, if you could translate that.
Yeah, if you could just take that material and put it here.
Yeah.
Take that persona.
It's so good.
Is it just, and it's usually what? It's just them like roasting the other person in a comment section?
Not even roasting, really kind of taking a very serious situation and making a joke about it that other people, even comedians, are looking at like, you shouldn't joke about that. But I mean, when you drop a funny line, like, that rules.
I feel like it's harder to do that in a comment section too, because I feel like it's easier for things to get like miscommunicated. That's kind of why like stand-up comedy works so well, because people know what you mean. You can get away with saying things you normally couldn't say.
The setting for it.
Yeah, it's so different because it's just like that Key and Peele sketch, if you ever seen it, where they're texting. It's like the miscommunication in texting. To me, that's like always...
I don't know this sketch.
Oh, it's a good sketch where it's like two guys texting and they keep like thinking the other one is mad at the other one, so they just start fighting with each other, but the whole thing is them misreading what the other person is saying. He says, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? What the fuck is he talking? Like something like that. But obviously they do it. It's a great sketch. Yeah. I wish I could do it justice here. But it's like, I feel like that with everything when I'm like typing things online. I'm like, are people going to understand what I'm saying here? Are they going to even know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like good comments are, I think, a skill in themselves. I think people who can like write a good Facebook comment, a good comment on Instagram, a good comment on anything.
I have such a fun story about that, but not lying, I do have to pee again.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
30 times a day this guy pees.
Dude, I think it would be good content to see if you can hear my stream.
Can we get a mic in there? It's that close.
Where the bathroom is directly next to the stage.
I feel like that would get a great reaction.
Oh no, I think it would be funny. And I would do it at a show, depending on who's on the show, because I definitely could do it.
You guys cool if I pee real quick?
Yeah, go for it. But I would do it if I did it at a show, because also a lot of the shows you might know people, but you don't like know them. You've met them before, but you don't know them. And I could definitely see like comedians going into their little group chats being like, Zach fucking walked into the bathroom with the mic. That shit was disgusting.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of why it's a risk, right? You have to know everybody there. Because it's more about one person saying they didn't like it than it is about anything else.
Yeah.
It's like, can I just do this funny thing and get away with it? Because if one person says they didn't like it, well, now it just looks bad that I did it. When otherwise, nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody cares if no one says anything. But if the one person does, now everybody's looking like, was that weird that he went in the bathroom? And
I wouldn't worry about like the audience, but it would be more like if a comedian was just like,
exactly,
felt like that.
If it was the talent,
it wasn't. Yeah, they weren't like upset about the joke I was attempting. Genuinely upset that I brought the mic into a men's bathroom, and more like people get like in trouble because they were sick and went out to an open mic. Like,
oh, did they?
Yeah.
Like other people will say to them, why would you come if you were sick?
Right. Yeah.
And you don't want to be that guy.
Right.
Because it's no matter how you feel either which way, it's a bad look no matter what. Yeah. Damn. And it's like, because the worst thing that could be is like other comedians or other like people in the entertainment world like saying those things. That's probably the worst thing that could happen. I feel like to me, that's what would be so scary about comedy in particular, is I feel like you're kind of taking risks naturally. So that's like, you can't take too big of a risk. There's like a certain...
Well, like I said, like I think that as a joke, depending on the setting, it could be funny.
Yeah.
And if I had a couple, like if I was on the, like if it was like a buddy show, like if it was like a bar show that you set up with your friends, I would do that, you know?
Right.
But if I'm on a show with like 8 people that I don't know, somebody would most likely be like, that was nasty. And it kind of like, whoever's coming up after me, if they're a germaphobe, I might have just fucked their whole setup, and I don't want to do that. Like, that's not nice, you know?
Right. See, like in my brain, that's what I was worried about if I'm like freestyling in a certain situation, because I'm worried I'm going to say something that's like offensive that I don't even realize is offensive, because I feel like my brain, I don't even realize when things are offensive to people.
I would definitely not do that when it comes to what you say into the mic. I wouldn't be too worried about how you set up the next comedian, but a physical thing like the microphone possibly, if somebody, I wouldn't give a shit personally,
but some people are like germaphobes.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god, I can't even believe you did that.
Yeah.
Like they didn't bring their
it's like what
bubble wrap
like what we were
microphone.
talking about earlier, like when you're thinking about how you like handle situations. Somebody walked into the bathroom before I went up and did a funny joke. If it bombed, then I'd be more upset if the joke bombed.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't care that they brought a mic into the bathroom, but not everybody is like me.
They're not thinking like that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's people, I know people that don't eat leftovers, you know, just because of, like, they're, like, just hyper worried about bacterias and all that shit.
Yeah. There's people who are really, really on top of those things. They don't eat leftovers. They don't want to sit certain places. They don't want to touch certain things.
Yeah.
They want to make, it's almost like an OCD at a certain point.
Yeah, OCD. And I mean,
power to them, by the way. I mean,
yeah, it's like I don't want to be sitting there like, well, if you're fucking OCD, you shouldn't be doing comedy. Like, blah, you know, I'm not going to do that because that OCD person might be fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and it might even be the fact that they're OCD that makes them hilarious.
Maybe even that.
It could even be a part of it, you know? So that's but it is a predicament for sure. I mean, like Howie Mandel, I think that's a big...
Yeah, he's like a clean freak. Yeah, he's a germaphobe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the exact thing. Because he's like that, but he makes that part of, like, he talks about it and he'll address it. Which I think is actually cool for the people who really are that way, because they get to see somebody like them talking about it. You actually don't see a whole lot of, like, germophobic people out there, like, publicly saying, I don't like touching things. I don't like when people... if people are like cough around me, I get scared. You don't see people saying that, and it probably makes you feel good if you are that guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I've never felt that way, just because I feel like probably a good amount of that is probably good for me. I mean, like I've never drank like mud water or anything, but I mean, it's probably a little amount of that's probably good for me. You got to get sick every now and then. You got to get cold every now and then.
I subscribe to that belief.
But I don't blame you for going the other way.
Right.
So I just feel like you'd probably lose resistance if you do that for too long. I feel like your body is supposed to have a resistance to those things.
Right,
and if you stay away from it and you keep everything clean, you might actually get worse. Now when you do go in the mud and like the dirt, you do actually get sick because you built this shit up in your mind. I feel like that's got to be real. That's what I would worry about.
I definitely think that's real, but I try to not. You ever do this thing where you think the right thing is the thing that you do?
Yeah, of course.
You know,
I think we all do that a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I do everything is right. Everything I do is the right thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean. Of course.
So when I'm sitting there thinking, like, you know, how the fuck, like, you don't eat leftovers? Like, what the fuck? Like, they're thinking, how the fuck do you eat leftovers? Like, that's been sitting out, you know, like. And
I've eaten leftovers that have been out for a long time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Like one time I remember I came back from Chicago, so I took the train back. It was before I lived here, and I had pasta that I got at a restaurant, and so it was on the train for about 5 or 6 hours. But then when I got home, I forgot to put it in the fridge. So I left it out overnight after that.
Okay.
And then when I got up in the morning, I'm like, fuck, dude, this is the pasta. It's been out all night. It's probably fine.
That is such a tame story.
It's not too bad?
No, dude.
I feel like it was a good 16, 18, 20 hours.
Yeah. I wish I wish you had a Joe Rogan following right now, because I would like to say what I do and how many people would be upset about what I do.
I want to hear it.
Because I cook pretty often, and what I do, and I try to cook for at least 2, possibly 3 nights, and I cook it and it stays on the stove until it's done. I never, and that takes sometimes up to like 2 full days, maybe 3.
So you just leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but see, that's so you never think wouldn't this be better if I just put it inside of some Tupperware? Tupperware is cheap, it's not expensive. You just grab some Tupperware real quick, you throw it in there, and then you throw it in the fridge. You never think that might even just be a better experience. Because I feel like what would happen is if it sat there for that long, if you do that intentionally, not on accident but on purpose, you're just kind of making the food get more stale, aren't you? It's not staying fresh if you don't try to keep it fresh. That's what I would worry about. But unless you don't mind, you just don't mind that it's. But I would feel like you could keep it fresh.
I mean, I have a pot of spaghetti sauce on the stove right now, and whenever I want to heat it up, I turn the stove on.
So it's a convenience thing. It's convenient.
Well, I haven't seen, I've been eating like this for a long time. I've never gotten sick from it. I'm going to tell you, my wife literally told me, she goes, you have broken my ideas of how long food can sit out. I used to throw stuff away that sat out for an hour, and you're eating stuff that's been sitting on the stove for 2 days. And I'm like, I don't know, this is just I learned it from my stepmom, actually.
It reminds me of that video of the guy where he's saying he eats roadkill, and people say that it's bad for you, but he's been doing it his whole life and nothing has ever went wrong.
Yeah.
He's they're filming him just picking up some bird off the street, and he's got a bunch of dead animals in his garage. Yeah. He's gonna cook all of them, and he's like, well, I don't get. He starts eating some of it raw or something. In the video, he's doing crazy shit.
Yeah, because that's all worms and shit, right?
Yeah, I don't know. He's saying he says it's fine, and so but the thing about diets too is that it is different for everybody. It really is different for everybody. So that's the caveat, I would say. Maybe not everybody's body could handle what you're doing.
I don't know. I mean, I would get sick if the food was going bad.
That's true. It's probably not going bad. I don't know. I don't know what. And as far as it's bacteria, right? Isn't that what it is? After a certain amount of hours, there's supposed to be about bacteria that grows on it. That's what I think the science is supposed to be. I think that's it's why you don't want to leave your groceries out when you get home. Because it's I thought what I read was 2 or 4 hours. After that, bacteria doubles every hour or something crazy. It's probably them trying to scare you. I don't know how bad it actually is. But you're saying you're living proof that this is all a lie, because you can keep your pasta on the stove. It's probably there right now. And he's going to go home. He's going to eat this pasta. It's sitting there. It's waiting for him.
I reheat it on the stove. Yeah. That's, I guess, cooks out.
Keep a lid on it?
That cooks out bacteria. I usually try to put a lid.
Oh, see, that's... Okay, so that helps. I'm sure that helps a lot.
But I don't always.
It's just... Don't you ever want to eat something else? You ever think maybe I want to eat something else other than pasta?
Well, that's not the only thing I cook. That's what I said I have there right now.
Oh, but do you do this with other things?
Yeah.
You just leave it there no matter what?
Yeah, I made fried pork chops Monday, Tuesday. I made fried pork chops Tuesday. I ate the last one while I was cooking the spaghetti sauce yesterday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Today's Friday.
Wednesday, Thursday. So 3 days.
So, yeah.
So it's regularly 2 to 3 days.
About 2 days, yeah.
No matter what the food is?
That pork chop sat on the stove for 2 days, and I ate it last night.
Dude. Yeah, you'd make a lot of people angry saying something like that.
I know I would.
You're confusing my mind right now. I'm not sure how to react to such information.
Yeah.
I want to say that you are probably just proof that it's possible. I want to say that you're right, and that's exactly what it is. But like
Well,
the other part
of me, I already
of me,
proved to you with House of Pain and something else. Oh, Steve Martin being in some movie that had house in it. I'm not a liar.
You're not a liar.
I really am doing this.
I believe you. It's like what's crazy about it is the fact that you would even choose to do it. That's actually, to me, like, I feel like that's the part that would make people angry. They would be hearing you and they'd be like, why would anyone even want to do such a thing? Because that's what I think. The first thing I think is like, dude, you could just throw it in the fridge. That's the first thing I think. But you sound like you're not even interested in something like that. Like when I say that to you, it sounds like that's not even...
If I got sick one time, I would change.
But there's no reason.
I haven't.
But you don't ever think like maybe this food could be better? Like wasn't it better when I first cooked it and it was fresh? Wasn't it better?
You don't know shit about spaghetti, do you?
I guess not.
Yeah.
You're right. Spaghetti ages. It's like wine.
Yeah.
That's true. I like spaghetti out the fridge a lot. Yeah.
Cold?
I can eat it cold. I was about to say that. I don't like it cold, but I don't prefer it cold, but I can eat it cold, especially if I'm hungry and I haven't heated it up yet. Like I'll just pop that thing open and just start eating some cold spaghetti real quick. Get myself like a sneak preview, and then I'll heat it up. Yeah, I like cold pasta in general. Honestly, I can eat some cold pasta, but like I don't like it. I shouldn't say I like it, but I will eat it. I will eat cold things. I will generally eat cold things. It's just what it is. Like sometimes I'll get distracted. I'll have like food in front of me. I'll get distracted. I'll eat it when it's cold. I don't really.
Yeah, no, I like to heat my shit up, even like cold pizza and stuff.
Oh,
it's
really?
so much better warmed up. But some people prefer it cold.
Cold pizza, I couldn't prefer it. Again, all of this, I could eat things cold. I would never say I prefer it.
Yeah.
Hot things are delicious. You know how I know that's real? Because when you reheat something in the microwave and then you start to smell it and it gets you all excited for the food, you couldn't smell it when it was cold. Now you can smell it because it's hot.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense because, isn't like taste all about smell or something?
I guess. I mean, to me and my brain, it's like that's got to make sense because I'm heating it and I'm smelling it. I'm like, oh my God, there's got to be something happening. I don't know, because heat and smell, maybe. Because I don't know, that makes me think of like peppers, like super hot peppers. Like those things go either way. Can you handle hot food?
Yeah.
You can?
No, I mean, I like spice, but I don't do the, I don't challenge myself on how hot I can go.
Yeah. But you like how hot do you go? Like hot spicy or just like a little spicy?
It just depends on who you're talking to. Like, I mean, friends of mine who like go to a wing place and want to eat the hottest wing. Yeah, I don't do that.
Okay, because that's crazy. So you're just getting like regular hot.
I like it spicy. I don't like anything that hurts to eat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I did it once, and like it fucked up like my night.
Yep.
Like, and I was like out, like, and I tried like some wing called like the Braveheart or something.
And it was like ghost pepper or something?
I'm sure that's what it was. And it ruined like my night. Like
what, you were just like in physical pain?
Yeah.
See, I don't think I've ever eaten something like hot like that. Like one time at work, I remember someone had a pepper that was like just twice a jalapeno, and I just took like a big bite of that, like a giant bite of it, and I was like supposed to be at the front of this customer service desk taking orders, and I am like, my face is profusely
that's what happened to me.
And that was just the beginning of
it.
Yeah,
I took like 2 bites. Like
it was the pepper itself?
No, the wing. Whatever was on the wing.
But it's probably a fresh pepper.
Fucked me up for like too long. If I had been in intense pain for like 10, 20 minutes, but it was like intense pain for like 10, 20 minutes and then hours of me just still feeling it.
Oh, really?
And I was just like, this,
so bad.
Never doing that again.
It probably was a really, really hot wing. Yeah. Because I mean, like, The other thing I remember is when somebody I knew had some salsa, and it was like supposed to be super hot salsa, and I just took a tiny little bite.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even really eat it. It was so hot. I was thinking, how could anybody eat this?
I don't know.
Like, it's like, but that's why I wonder, like, spice tolerances. You're from the South, so I figured maybe your blood's a little different. Maybe you were, like, built for the spice a little more than me, you know? Because the South does have a good thing for spice. Way more than up here, you know?
Yeah.
Spice is not the same.
Right.
Like Mexico, the South Americans, they got spice down, you know?
South is just different with seasoning in general.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. They got food figured out a little better than us.
Yeah,
I'll just
absolutely.
admit it, you know? They do it better.
100%.
Yeah. We do some things cool, but like, you know, and I haven't even really been to the South enough to truly experience it. You know, I'm just saying from like what they've provided to us.
I didn't notice until I was older.
Really?
Yeah.
The difference?
Yeah.
Well, how so?
Well, both of my parents are from Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only person in my family who's from Georgia.
Ah.
And I just, you know, I grew up on my mom's cooking and, you know, and then, once my parents got divorced, my dad married a woman from Louisiana.
Yeah.
And her food was just way, way different. Way different. My mom's a good cook, but when it comes to seasoning, there's a big difference. And my stepdad at the time was a Southern boy.
Yeah.
Like real, like from the woods, Southern. And, you know, for a long time, he was good to my mom. But one thing that used to piss me off that I just thought was really rude is he did not really eat my mom's cooking.
Oh, really?
She would make a big dinner, you know, and I'd be over there and he just could not. It was not like what he was used to. And you could tell it really hurt my mom's feelings, but she didn't quite understand the level to like Southern cooking. Like, well, she's been there. All her friends are Southern, but I don't know, like the way a Southern man likes cooking like that.
Yeah.
She had not experienced that before because she had only been with my dad.
What is like proper Southern cooking? Like, what would it look like? Like, what was your mom doing wrong?
Season.
Oh, it just wasn't seasoned properly.
Yeah, just and I would say.
Oh damn! Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Continue though.
Once. I never picked up on it until it was kind of all internet shit where people would like kind of criticize like white people for not seasoning their food.
Right.
And the whole time I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like all my mom's friends, like all my friends' parents, like who are white, they like their food is amazing. What is everybody talking about? And then when I would eat at my family from Wisconsin's house, like if I was traveling for like Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, when I would eat their food, I was like, oh, this is why we get criticized. This is what they're talking about. Like white people don't season their food. And
it's real.
It is real. Yeah.
You get real life proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a shame, right? And you can't, I mean, you almost can't like teach it is kind of the problem too, I guess. You kind of just have to grow up in that culture to like learn it properly.
Maybe, yeah.
Like that's kind of where your mom was kind of, there was no way she could have won this.
She was there as long, she moved down there when she was pregnant with me. She still lives in Georgia.
Yeah.
Like she's been there a long time. And I think my mom versus her sisters and mother, my mom would probably seem like a Southern cook because she probably does season up shit a lot more than they do. Right. But even what she's doing ain't up to the level that my stepdad at the time was used to.
There's levels to it.
Yeah, there's levels.
Wow. I imagine like a perfect Southern dinner would just be like a giant table full of comfort food, like everything. You got gravy, you got mashed potatoes, you got turkey.
My stepmom, and this was the other thing that I guess I noticed with my friends' moms, like from the South and like my stepmom, is they all had like 6 or 7, like, that's what they make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Trademark dishes.
Like my stepmom's, my favorite thing was, I had 2 favorite things. One was called shrimp étouffée, and then she made these badass chicken and dumplings.
Okay.
And but my mom was more like she'd go out and try to find new recipes, and she'd see shit on TV and like, oh, I'm gonna make that. And like where the Southern women had their 6, 7 staples. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is different. They've got like special dishes, like, oh, you got it, like she's gonna bring this to
Right.
Thanksgiving
Yeah,
dinner, you won't even believe it. Whereas like, yeah, the other way around would be like seeking out like fun stuff to cook.
Right.
Oh,
So,
that is
yeah,
like a huge cultural divide.
my mom
like, because
was-
you probably get like dishes passed down through
Right,
families.
exactly.
Like Italian people are like that.
Yeah.
Italian people are the exact same way.
Which my stepmom, all her shit came from her mom.
Yeah.
And so she had everything perfected, which is how you do when you do something over and over again. My mom was much more experimental.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which, for better or worse, right?
Yeah, I always liked the shit, but like I said, stepdad, he was like, and at the time he was a nice enough guy. It wasn't like in his character that he was just always a dick, but he like was just, my mom would be like, you gonna try some of the blah, blah, blah? Nope.
He probably just felt like he was like he was in an impossible situation, like because he just didn't want to try it.
Yeah.
But he didn't know a nice way to say to this person,
Oh, yeah.
this is not what. It's funny because you probably didn't have enough experience in life to fully understand the scope of what was happening at that point.
No, I
You
did. No, I was old enough when they did. I was in my like early 20s when they got together.
Yeah.
So I did understand what was
Yeah,
going
because
on.
if you were a kid, you'd be like, why is he being mean to my mom?
Well, no, I told you, like, I never said anything because everything else, I don't think they were having, like, issues of him being mean to her.
Yeah. It's just...
It was that one particular thing. And then, yeah, it was kind of from that I noticed how much, like, Southern men are into, like, either their wives or mom's cooking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like how much it actually matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it really isn't like, at least for me growing up, cooking was not like a big family.
Right.
We didn't even really think about it.
No,
like it's kind of funny to me.
Yeah,
like when
that's
people
kinda...
say to me like, "Oh, your mom didn't cook," like I'm like, no, like my mom didn't really cook. My mom would cook sometimes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a thing. Like, oh,
Right.
my mom is cooking.
Yeah.
People would get like surprised about that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you didn't. You had did you have cooking? No cooking growing up. You're gonna say? You didn't really have that
my
either?
mom cooked, but it was like twice a week.
Yeah.
You know, and then we ate, and that's probably why, I fuck with leftovers so much. But yeah, my mom
fuck with leftovers hard.
Yeah, but she would cook a big ass dinner. I feel like on Sundays she'd make like a big ass dinner on Sundays, and we would eat that until like Wednesday.
Nice.
And then I know there used to be like one night a week, it was either like Chinese or pizza.
Nice.
Or a bucket of chicken.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to Come Town before?
Yeah, I've heard Come Town, yeah.
So the dude Nick Mullen, one time he was describing like chicken night when you're like a kid and your parents show up, or whoever shows up with the big bucket of chicken.
Yeah.
And he's like, when you're a kid, how massive that bucket looks. And he goes, it's like seeing your dad's dick for the first time.
It's ginormous.
It's just a huge bucket.
Because it is huge. Yeah, like 30 nuggets.
Yeah.
That's fucking...
Well, I'm talking about the KFC bucket with the drumsticks and the...
How big is it? Like, how big is it actually?
Well, no, when you're a kid, it's like, go get the wheelbarrow, like, but I mean,
That's such a great comparison to your dad's dick, because your dad's dick is such a weird object to see, but especially as a child.
Right.
Even as an adult, you never want to see such a thing. But as a child, it's like, whoa.
It's swollen. Yeah. Why is it swollen?
It feels like you've committed like an act against religion when you see your father's penis.
Yeah.
What is wrong with that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is like ginormous, like a giant thing of chicken. Wow. You know what? I don't think I've ever really gotten a giant bucket of chicken except maybe once in my life. Because I don't know what, maybe it's just because I had KFC around me. I didn't have real chicken. I didn't feel like I had real options.
That's what I'm talking about, the KFC bucket. Yeah.
Okay, but is that like,
no, they have like a family meal where it's like, well, I don't know, $20, and it's like a bucket of chicken and however many sides.
I think I only had it once. I think I only had the family bucket once. Yeah. Got gravy. It's got gravy in there. It's got bread. I'm pretty sure it's got bread in it, right? A little couple of bread rolls.
Yeah.
A couple biscuits. Yeah. And then also you got the chicken. Yeah. Yeah, dude. 20, and honestly, like all those things, I bet that if they still have that now and it was $20 then, it's got to be like $30 now. There's no way. $35 for the bucket. $40 for the bucket. It's got to be. I wonder how much a bucket at KFC costs now. Because like I know stuff at McDonald's has went up since I never eat fast food, so I can't keep up with this. I don't actually know. But I know like what used to cost $1.50 is now about $3. Yeah. So I bet the buckets are about like double. Damn.
No, KFC couldn't survive selling a $40 bucket. They got to cut back in some other ways because you're not going to be able to sell a $40 bucket of chicken.
I did go to KFC a little bit, now that I think about it. But I remember one time I went to KFC and my chicken was raw, and that really rubbed me the wrong way. You don't ever want to eat raw chicken.
No.
That's just gross.
It's so ugly looking.
It's red. It's like pink in there. I am such a bad cook. See, again, like I never had any formal training. I remember I probably have eaten raw chicken because I remember I cooked raw chicken. Or I cooked chicken, and I definitely didn't finish cooking it. And I didn't really figure that out until I cooked chicken again like 2 weeks later.
Oh, chicken's the easy. Well, it's
pretty easy.
It's the easiest one to know that it's raw, but that's like the main one that you can't eat raw.
Yeah, and I felt like, damn, like this wasn't like this last time, you know. I feel like it was a little bit like rougher than this. You don't want to eat raw chicken. Fish, you could probably cook. Cooking fish is probably similar to cooking chicken, I would have to imagine. Where it's I've never cooked fish before, never even once.
No, fish.
I've cooked fish from the grocery store, but I think it's just like you cook it fast.
Sushi is raw fish.
Yeah, that's true. You can eat raw fish. Yeah. You like sushi? You like Japanese food?
I think I liked sushi when I first started eating it.
Yeah.
And now I don't think I like it anymore. The last couple times I had it, I was like, I think I'm over this.
I haven't had it enough times to dislike it, but I could see myself not liking sushi. Sushi's kind of expensive too. No matter where you go, sushi's kind of expensive unless you're at like a buffet type situation. Because I could eat a lot of sushi. Right. Like if you let me eat a lot, I could just eat so much. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing too. I feel like I wouldn't even want to pay for it.
Nah, I think I'm the opposite way. Like I'm kind of good with like 2 or 3 pieces of sushi. Like I get over sushi like pretty quick.
You're just not into it like that.
But yeah, I like Japanese food a lot though. Like hibachi type shit.
Yes.
That was my thing as a kid, man. That was like that was my birthday. Was hibachi grill.
Oh really?
Like yeah, when my birthday would come around, that's what my mom would take me to.
Like a buffet.
No, hibachi, where the cook, like you sit at the table and the grill is right there and they cook at the table.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you get to pick what they're gonna make for you.
Nah, you order. Just like you order beforehand. Okay. But yeah, then them Japanese dudes come out and they're pretty badass.
They make kind of a show of it, right?
Yeah, they make a show.
Yeah, and it's like a whole. Is it just you at the table, or is it like
you're there with like strangers?
That's what I thought.
Unless you brought like a big party.
Yeah, that's fun for your birthday. Right. Yeah. Growing up, that's what you did?
My birthday would be like my parents, and then usually probably like their friends that like I was growing up around or
that's
whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, but hell yeah, hibachi grill.
Dude, that's sick as hell. I remember there was a place kind of like that next to where I lived called, I think it was Mongolian barbecue, where you would pick stuff and they would make it in front of you. But it's not I still haven't been to a place that's quite like what you're describing, where it's like you're sitting, because I know exactly what it is, like the giant grill, and you're all sitting around it, kind of.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're
yeah.
all sitting around it.
Yeah, one time I was there. The cook was he was flipping the spatula around his finger.
Hell yeah.
His shit flew out of his hand and like hit a lady's wine glass and like broke it or whatever. And this fucking bitch just starts crying at the table, like she just like. And just
like she got hurt.
Yeah, she was like 30, 40 something years old. I felt bad for the cook.
Yeah.
But
he didn't mean to do that.
Hell no.
And it's actually like nobody got hurt, so that's really.
I think like she got some shit spilled on her, and which sucks. But I mean, you crying? That's come on.
Well, I would feel bad if I was the cook. I would not know what to do.
He was so flustered.
Keep saying sorry.
He was so sorry. He stopped doing any tricks. Like,
damn,
the lady just was not cool about it at all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's all you really want is for her to be cool. That's all you can hope for is
just
for her to be cool.
Like, can you just acknowledge, hey, it happens. Like, whatever. The guy was trying to put on a show.
And like, honestly, that's the best. Like, that's what I'm saying. If nobody got hurt, like, that's one of the best case scenarios. Like, that spatula could have fucking flew at your face.
Right.
You were actually it was really close to doing that. That's what I'd be thinking. Thank God that thing only hit the glass. That would be my first thought. I mean, but it would suck. Probably what's happening there is she's got some underlying shit going on in her life, and that was just the pinnacle of,
like, easily embarrassed.
Exactly.
But
I feel for her too.
Yeah.
But damn, like, sucked to be that guy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, he was so shook.
You're trying to entertain these people. You're trying to give them a
they're
show.
usually like I'm pretty sure they're all drunk.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because
the cooks, you mean?
Yeah. Because they do the sake, when they like do the shots around the table, they'll always do one with you. So I'm just like, oh, they're definitely doing that in the back, and they are like fun dudes. Like the cooks at hibachi places are like because I never really equate like very funny shit with Asian men for some reason. I just don't ever think about them being like, it's almost like hibachi cooks are like the way black dudes are at like a barber shop almost. It seems like they kind of have like a locker room feel, like, and that they're all just kind of like have very dirty senses of humor and shit. Like, they seem cool as fuck.
It's like when you encounter like the Mexican dudes in the kitchen.
Exactly. They are the same. Then
it's like an in-group type situation. Yeah. This is where they chill. This is where they can let loose. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hibachi, it would be a good place for that too, because you're right. They're just drinking all day on the job. It's probably part of the job, kind of, in a way. Like you said, if you're drinking with the people that are eating, they probably do that for every single table that comes through. Yeah. It's like you're like the fifth one that day.
Yeah.
They are wasted.
Oh, they're wasted.
It's amazing. It's a miracle they're cooking for you right now. That's probably like the miracle job for them. That's probably the best, the dream job. That's probably the one.
I would like to see the progression of, because they're doing tables probably from like 5 p.m. until midnight, right?
Yeah.
And I would like to see the progression, because not only are they doing tricks, but they're kind of like comedians too. They do a lot of jokes. And I would like to see the progression of how dirtier the jokes get throughout the night.
They get drunk.
Yeah.
They start pushing the limits a little more.
They start, I mean, the joke every comedian uses, like talking about, like, there's like a Chris Rock bit where he goes, you got black people, and then you got beep, N-word. Yeah. And I wonder if the hibachi chefs are, by midnight, they're like, because y'all know we got black people, and then we got and it's like, sorry, I had 15 shots of sake last night.
You can't blame him. Yeah. I would be telling people, I'd be like, you got to go there, but you got to go at 10 p.m. Mm-hmm. Like, get reservations for 10:30. Yeah. You're going to get a real show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give them any context. I wouldn't tell them anything.
Right.
I'd be like, you have to be there to understand it,
mm-hmm.
you know? That'd be so great. It'd be like an exclusive show, you know. You're right. They probably would just get worse and worse throughout the night. They would just start saying like awful things, probably slurs you haven't even heard before,
and probably get like hornier too with like the like
start hitting on people.
Absolutely.
As they hate on entire groups of other people, they will hit on every single woman that is above a 5 on the attractive scale.
Dude,
they're so drunk they'll probably hit on every woman. There's probably not a scale anymore. I mean, that'd be a great, and they're getting paid to do this. It's like it's like they're meant for like a strip club or something like that, but instead they made it to this world, the cooking
It's like
world.
a respectable job where you can be like a degenerate,
Exactly.
I think, you know?
Which is the best you could hope for.
Yeah, chef is kind of a respectable job where you can be like a
That's
degenerate.
a good point. Chef in general.
Chef.
Yeah, chefs. Gordon Ramsay. He's a great example of that. He's just earned the right to yell at people through being a chef.
But I mean, was he like a drunk and a cokehead and stuff?
That I don't know. I mean, because the public image is that he's an asshole. But
I thought, but I'm saying you can be a degenerate, like you can be like a partier.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to pull that off with a lot of professions. Like no one takes you seriously, but as a sous chef, they're like, oh, this guy gets it.
This guy fucks.
Yeah.
It is like a cool chef. I would feel good about it immediately. If I knew the guy cooking the food was cool, I'd be like, this is gonna go well.
Right.
Yeah, I want my chefs to be cool. If I'm gonna meet the chef, I want him to be that, or I want him to like take it too serious. I want to see him and he's taking this shit really serious.
Yeah.
More serious than I could ever take most things.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see in a chef. Yeah. Because I mean, like a chef again is one of those things. I feel like my brain was never like quite tuned to. So when I see people like get passionate about cooking, I'm just like, damn, bro, there's like a science to this. People who can bake, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
If you ever watch like the Great British Baking Show, where it's like a competitive show,
that's one thing I've never gotten into.
it's a fun show, but like what interests me,
no, not the show.
Baking in general.
Baking.
Yeah, because it's just a whole. It's different than cooking even. It's like you have to learn how to bake properly, and then like. Meaning that like what they do on these shows, I don't know how real it is, but how they present it in the show is we're giving you this challenge, we're telling you this challenge right here, right now, and now you have to come up with a way to cook it, and you have to do it within 3 hours. But even if they get like a week or two of prep, that's still crazy because it's like they're giving you this random ass challenge to do. You're gonna have to make a cake that's in the theme of a video game, and also you have to incorporate these 3 ingredients. And then all of a sudden, they all create 5 different fucking cakes that look nothing like each other.
They do crazy. That on Triple G. That's how they do.
Oh, really?
Guys' grocery games. they give them a list of what they can pick, and they just have to go pick that shit and make what they can make out of it.
With baking, or is it just cooking?
With cooking.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It is impressive.
Because I mean, like, I feel like to be good at cooking is like any other art, really. When you get so good at it, you're not thinking about recipes and you're not thinking about that stuff. You're thinking about how can I, it's like Ratatouille. Like you're figuring out how to take these ingredients and create a palette.
And just saying what 2 things usually combine well together. Oh, these 2 things kind of blend with each other. It's like, if you're like sitting there like, oh, citrus blends well with blah, blah, blah. You're like, well, they made me pick out fucking, a bottle of Sunny D. This will be like, and this is really what they do on the show. They're just like, they have to incorporate a bottle of Sunny D into their like recipe. That's and they're like, oh, I'll make something that requires citrus with it,
That's cool. It forces them to be creative.
Right.
Yeah, like how could I possibly use Sunny D in a good way? Yeah. Cooking is like, it with stuff like that. See, I also feel like if you're doing stuff like that, you have to have a good taste palette. I don't know what the word is, but you have to have a broad palette. Like I have to be able to, because I've never been good with that with like wine in particular. I could never if I'm drinking wine, I could never tell you this tastes like this. But that's supposed to be like the first thing you do if you're trying to get good at wine tasting is like you have to learn how to. You have to make shit up. That's literally what they tell you. Just make shit up on what it might remind you of. Oh, this is oaky. This is fucking
right.
Yeah, but I can't do it. I'm really bad at it.
Oh no, I've joked forever that you could host your own like cooking show.
Yeah.
As long as you learn the 5 words: smokiness, sweetness, words like that.
Salty. I was thinking salty, maybe.
Saltiness. What you got? Saltiness. Smokiness, sweetness,
spiciness, spice.
Yeah, they I guess that usually, and I like the heat I'm getting from. They say heat a lot.
They would say heat.
Yeah, and then
sizzle. Some sizzle. It's got a bite.
And texture is also one. Like there's like 5-6 words that literally Guy Fieri describes every single thing he takes a bite into. He uses like those 5 or 6 words.
Oh, no shit, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so crunchy.
Yeah, I like the crunchiness but it mixes well with the texture, and that's all he says.
Oh, there's a formula.
Yeah, I mean, I'm convinced of this, but I'm sure like a guy could probably make you a meal, and you're like, oh, this guy is a great cook.
Yeah.
But as far as a cooking show, I think somebody that doesn't know anything about, I definitely feel like nobody knew me, but I just introduced myself as a what were you just talking about? The wine, a wine
connoisseur, a wine taster.
There's a name for people that taste wine.
I know there's wine snobs, there's wine connoisseurs. I didn't know there was like a word, like people who professionally do it.
It's
really?
A profession.
Wine taster job.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna look it up just so I know a new word, because I didn't know this was an actual career path for people.
Yeah, this is a career.
Really, wine taster job title. Here we go. It is a sommelier. A sommelier.
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 Yes.
Says it's pronounced sommelier. Yeah.
Sommelier. And I think I could be a sommelier by learning about 7 words.
Wow, I didn't even know that was real. So that's what their job is. They just know all about that shit. And it's probably like, it reminds me of like being is it a chiropractor? Like somebody who's like, I know all about back science, and I'm going to fix your back. But really, you're just fucking everybody's backs up.
Is that? I don't know. I've heard these things about chiropractor. Or that it's not.
I don't think it's real.
It's not recognized, I know, by the FDA as like medicine.
I think all it literally is them. It's like a very theoretical exercise that they present as professional.
Yeah.
And they use all these terms and they use all these words to make it sound like, oh, your back is just rotated like this, and really what you need is a realignment. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring you in, we'll set you on the table, everything's safe, 100%. It's all secure. We've done this a million times. They say everything to make you feel good, and even in the moment it feels good because they just literally snap your neck essentially.
Right,
but they do it just the right way to where all that tension's released.
Dude,
but your neck's not supposed to get snapped like that. That's the part that's the experimental part, is like yanking people at the table.
It's people who did this one time who are just like, what if you could do that to your back? Like,
and then they did it to their friend, and their friend was like, that felt so good. And they ignored the part when a week later when their friend had a limp all of a sudden, because that's what it is. I think what it is like you're introducing weird trauma to. It's like one thing that I had to learn the hard way is one day I realized, because I kind of got a fucked up back to begin with. So I realized like, oh, if I like turn the right way, I could just crack my hip. Like I could just do it over and over if I like twist the right way. And then all of a sudden I did that for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I kind of like started to fuck my back up. Right. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be twisting my back in this way that I just figured out. I never Googled this. No one ever told me to do this. I just figured out if I twist my...
I think you can do that.
I was fucking myself up, though. I'm telling you. If I would have kept doing it... Because I was starting to feel like, oh, shit. Like, shit. Like, that wasn't... It's getting worse.
Right.
So,
shit, maybe.
But it's like, that's why there's people who will, like, train professionals, and you go to physical therapy because they'll tell you, like, stretch in ways that are safe for you, that aren't going to throw your back out. Yeah. And I don't think chiropractors are doing any of this. I I think most of them, it's like witchcraft almost, where they're just all communicating amongst themselves. They're developing spells.
I think they're just pressing on you and pressing things until you hear that knuckle crack type noise, and then they're like, "That's chiropractic."
But it's kind of extreme, dude. Like when they're like yanking out your neck.
I've never done one.
Have you ever seen it though?
Yeah.
I've never done it either. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't. As I say all this, it's literally because I don't think. Power to them. I'm glad they do what they do. It's a great business, great thing. But I really like all of the alarms go off in my brain. I'm thinking this just doesn't. Like I said, I got a bad back. I don't need you to fuck it up worse. I don't need that.
You can get a long way in life just bullshitting like that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things. Long Island Medium.
What's that?
Oh, she was well, she was popular. She had a show. It was like around 2008, 2010. But she is like one of those people who could tell you, like, communicate with your dead loved ones. And
well, see, there's also you can get popular off of that with people knowing you're full of shit. They're just entertained by it. Like,
people believe her though.
Yeah, there's that. But I'm like, I know last year I was watching a football game, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the announcer who's supposed to be like the expert, right? And then you got like the play-by-play person who's just saying what's happening in the game, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm watching a game, and there's an underdog team that's winning by like 7 points with like 5-6 minutes left in the game. And the play-by-play guy was like, so do you think, what do they need to do to be able to pull this game out? And he's like, as long as they execute the game plan within the framework of its intended plan, I think they can win this. And I'm with a friend of mine. I'm like, what the fuck did that mean? That didn't mean anything. As long as they execute the game plan as it was intended? What the fuck does that? That doesn't make any sense. This man just knows how to say words that kind of sound like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Execute the game plan upon which it was intended. And it's just
that's a skill though.
Bullshitting is not a skill. Like, you just have to be willing to do it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's what a good, when I say good, I don't mean good, but a good politician, I think that's what they're doing. Like, I think when a politician is politicking right, that's kind of the art, is you're walking like the line and saying just the right words to make it sound like you're giving enough details.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of just really, it's really public speaking.
But when you say skill...
what he's doing is not good. He did it very transparently.
Well, because people say that a lot about people who, radio personalities, like comedians, podcasters, whatever, that they act like bullshitting is a skill.
Right.
But I don't even know if you consider talking into a microphone a skill.
Yeah.
I mean, some people can. Yeah. But most people can. Or to a degree. Obviously, me and you are very comfortable talking into a microphone, so I could think I could be a politician if I was willing to bullshit that much.
Yeah.
But I'm way too, I'm very quick to say, I don't know. I don't have an answer. But most politicians, you ask them a question, they're not going to say, I don't know. I've never heard of that.
And they're probably trained to do that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, they're almost positively 100% they're trained to do that. Yeah, I couldn't do that either. I would just say, I don't know. Yeah. Like if somebody said to me, okay, so how do you feel about this? You can't say, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I would look into it. You have to say some weird, middle ground.
And I don't find any skill in that. I just find that as just being... full of shit.
Yeah.
If you want to consider being full of shit a skill. then it is.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's a skill. It's just more the willingness to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, the willingness to do it. And usually the intent to do it. See, that's why it's hard for me, because I think it all starts with like the intention. And I could never have such an intention. I don't even give a fuck about like, because what they're doing is they're trying to gain probably power, probably money. Like that's why else would you be a politician? You're probably the type of person that wants people to like you or to get something out of those people. Rarely ever is it like you actually want to help people. That's most things in life. That's kind of what it is. You're doing something for some selfish reason in the end, but you create all these reasons around it, and that's why you rarely ever you're just doing it for the love of the game. Rarely ever.
I think politicians do it for the love of the game.
But that's even scarier. If that's what it is.
I'm saying like
that game's vicious.
Because I'm not talking about like helping the community. I'm talking about the kind of, I don't know, like literally the inner workings of politicking.
Yeah.
Of like, you want like something to get voted in, and it's not really how important that particular thing is. It's the way you have to navigate to get that thing is what excites them.
Yeah.
You know, they like all that inner workings because it really ain't the pay. Because, you know, considering the level of college that most politicians went to, like if you went to Yale or Harvard, like probably getting into politics is probably the lowest paying job you can really get.
Right.
Well, now that I think about it, they get paid by like corporations.
Well, I think that's how they do it. I think that's the whole idea, right? Is they make it look like they don't get paid that much, but really it's like you're getting paid from these other places. You hear about like insider trading becomes a big thing because there's not real regulation stopping them from buying these stocks.
Yeah.
So of course you would do it if you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like most rich people break rules if they can break rules. So I'm sure that's what's happening. Yeah. It's but of course if you were to like look at it on paper, presidents don't make that much money. People in Congress don't make that much money. But I don't know. I don't believe it. I think they probably make at least hundreds of thousands at least.
Oh, no, like millionaires probably.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
Because I mean like, and that's another, the love of the game is a good way to put it. Because I think what happens even with people who are doing it for the people, they're doing it for like, in their heart, they're doing it for real, for the people, for real change. I think once you get to the top of that ladder, you realize, oh, I can't stay here if I keep doing that. I have to start to do it for the love of the game, to play into that, because otherwise I'll just get kicked out in like 4 to 8 years. They're not going to let me stay here. So it's kind of you kind of have to. It's like the mafia. Like you can't just join the mafia and then like not follow the rules of the mafia. They're going to kill you.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't stick around in the mafia doing that.
When you have an institution like government or church or fucking entertainment, like anytime, like maybe in our lifetime, the only person who really went in and just said, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want is Kanye.
Yeah.
And
I would say Andy Kaufman, but that's not our lifetime.
Yeah, that ain't my life. I don't know what I know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't know a goddamn thing about what he did.
Oh.
And then just some of the maybe like interviews I've seen of him, I'm like, this guy fucking sucks. like I don't.
But Kanye does that.
Well, he's the only one that I've seen that just didn't have a rule. He had no rules. Like he had, or like people like that enter any sort of entertainment like idea. Some of them have the idea of like, I'm about to change the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're not.
Yeah.
You're just not. And I don't even know that Kanye changed the game. He just did what he wanted to do. And it like he was able to stay around.
Most people can't do that.
Most people ain't gonna stick around. Like they will get like moved aside.
Almost everybody. I mean, like in my mind, I think that's what makes like great people, like the people who like live on throughout history. I think that's what makes that is when you can enter whatever art form you're in and then do kind of like the wrong thing, like make different choices that nobody else would make that are so you, but somehow that people respect you for it. Like those people in comedy that stick out the most throughout history are the ones that did that almost always. Like I mean, like I feel like I'm trying to think, like George Carlin is obviously a big one from way back then. I'd say that who the fuck, Bill Hicks is another big one from way back then. Eddie Murphy probably did that real well way back then. Who's the other? Pryor. That's what I was trying to think of. Yes, Pryor's another one. But so many people who just came in and kind of revolutionized it. Where at the time, if you kind of what Elvis did, even he came around, he did what you weren't supposed to be doing, and he made that the new thing. Just like what Kanye has done with hip hop throughout his entire career. He's like made the next sound of hip hop, or at least because people will hate. They'll say that Kanye stole people's sounds, because that is a criticism he'll get. Because one thing he's done throughout the years is he'll like find a smaller artist who's doing a sound at that time, and then he'll kind of take it and make it his own. That's what he did with 808s and Heartbreak. When he started doing all the auto-tune stuff, I think it was all kind of off of Kid Cudi and then somebody else. Like Kid Cudi did it first, but then Kanye really made it what it was.
T-Pain was really it?
T-Pain, yes, exactly. And then also when he did like the minimalistic stuff, I think that was off of somebody else. But it's like he'll take something and make it. It's like that he's even curating that he's even picking those things and reshaping himself and making those choices that other people wouldn't make, and constantly going against the grain, but people still accept him anyways. Like I think those are the people that make me believe in like real raw creativity.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not even that he did those things. It was that he did them and he stayed around.
Yeah,
know?
right.
Like,
and he's undeniable.
Yeah.
Like, he's just undeniable. Like I've heard in comedy, that's a rule that people have. Is like you want to be undeniably funny. Like if you're actually funny, if you go on stage and people laugh, it doesn't matter what people say about you. You will get people to laugh. You'll be undeniably funny. You have that in you. That is invaluable. It's more valuable than anything else. Just to be undeniable in some aspect. And I feel like it's impossible to teach someone how to do that. There's no way you could. It's kind of like in your soul, I feel. That's why Kanye is such a weird example. Because Kanye, I always, every time I talk about him, it's like hard because I resonate with Kanye on so many levels. I feel like he makes it harder and harder. Like you always think like, he can't make it any harder to explain him. Like you can't. I like Kanye, but he can't make it harder for me to say I like him. He's already done the worst possible thing he'll ever do, and then he does something that makes it even harder. Now he's dropping songs where he's talking about he loves Hitler. That's in the song. The song is called "Hail Hitler." Did you see this?
No.
It just leaked the other day. And it's literally him singing "Hail Hitler" and all that. It's like, what am I even supposed to say about this guy anymore? Because Kanye, to me, is just so creative. He's like a victim of his own creativity, and he's always thought so differently. It's what's led him to all his success. It's why people love him. But like also, he is doing some wild things as of lately. I can't say that I'm not co-signing everything he does, but he is a creative genius. Like the guy is fucking Kanye West. And he still makes good music. That's the thing that's funny about the song that leaked is everybody's saying, damn, I can't believe he said that. But it is a good song, though.
Really? I can't wait
reaction.
to hear it now. But I never, I like a handful of Kanye songs. I've never, like, had, like, a tie to, like, anything, like, artistic that would make me mad that they said that or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's done a lot with hip-hop. And I feel like you shouldn't even have those ties with things, really. When I listen to music, I'm not even thinking about the other stuff that a guy says.
Me neither.
I'm never thinking about those things. So that's why I just think it's funny that that's even a thing. Because I like to... I'm a purist in that sense. Like, I'm trying to evaluate the art on the face of it. Like, people can do things that'll make things worse, maybe, but it doesn't, like, take away from what the thing actually was. Like, you could still go back and watch The Cosby Show and enjoy it for what The Cosby Show was. You don't have to watch that and think, oh, my God, Bill Cosby's, I can't even watch this show anymore.
Right.
Because it still has a place in history.
Yeah.
That's kind of how everything is, you know. As soon as you start devaluing it based on...
Well, I don't know. I mean... You're going to see it in a different way than I do, but I don't, even for me to look at like maybe a comedian I like, I never look at them as like genius.
Yeah.
Like I just I was like, yeah, Kanye made a bunch of songs I like.
Yeah.
But there's nothing genius about what he does to me, like at all. Like I think it's cool.
Yeah.
But as far as genius, like... I feel like someone who navigated who built out the U.S. road system. Like that's genius
You
to me.
dated a certified genius.
I dated, so I do know technically what a genius looks like.
You've experienced.
And Kanye's not a genius.
Yeah.
I've seen him, you know.
It is true though. Like the people who built America, those are like the men who built America. Have you ever watched that? Those guys are probably a lot more apt to be geniuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Edison, give him the light bulb.
Right.
Might be a genius there.
And not only the light bulb, but how to apply it
Yeah.
to life was not easy either. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that?
Like you can invent a light bulb, but how the fuck do you get it into everybody's house?
Right.
So that also had to be invented
Within his lifetime. Like,
right.
He had to figure out that problem.
To me, that's genius.
Yeah.
Making cool songs is not genius. He's good at it, but that's not genius. I write good jokes. Like I am no stretch a genius.
There's no comedian who you would like look at and be like, damn, like what he's doing is another level. Like that's something really never. Wow.
Now that person could be a genius though, but I would have to see him doing other shit like outside of comedy. The most genius shit to me is just I don't call it genius like but when people try to redefine whatever stand-up comedy is, like the best comedy I'm ever gonna see is just from people holding the mic and talking to the audience.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there might be some cool ideas people have tried, and I don't see it as genius. I see it as like kind of like what Kanye does. I see it as like a grab at attention.
Yeah.
It's like, and the only thing that grabs your attention is that what you're doing is different than just the regular stand-up. Like performing to no audience is not genius to me. You're just trying to do something different.
Yeah.
Like, and like there is a comedian who has a special to no audience. What the fuck is so genius? But like people refer to it as genius. And I'm like, how is that genius?
Harlan Williams, he did a special where he was standing in the middle of like the Sahara Desert or something like that with no audience. He literally just does it standing in the middle of the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
But I don't know how familiar you are with Harlan Williams.
I like Harlan.
He does a lot of goofy stuff like that.
Yeah, I like Harlan. But
he's probably someone I could think who would get away with something like no audience. Yeah.
And I'm not even saying whether or not it's for me. Even if it was amazing, I would not be like, wow, that was genius. I mean, literally the only idea is, you know how in stand-up there's usually an audience?
Yeah.
What if there was no audience?
Yeah.
That's not genius. I mean,
well, and like I feel like it's kind of a tough sell because if that's the whole concept, okay, that's funny for a second, but now you have to ride that out for a good 40 minutes, just that concept.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Maybe that's funny for like a 2-minute bit.
Exactly like that. I've seen, man, it's like that in open mics. You can definitely see somebody who has like a crazy cadence or crazy energy on there.
Yeah.
And they can like 3-4 minutes of it, it's hilarious. But when you really sit down and go, man, if they were doing like, you know, a half hour, could I stand this for a half hour?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's like, no. Like it's like you're good in small doses, but yeah, it happens like that. Like somebody can have a good idea, but when it comes to like a stand-up comedy special, it's like, nah, this should have been like a music video. Like 30 minutes of this is just like that little thing where you're in the desert, that's already worn off. Like,
yeah.
And, you know, if you're on there like telling funny jokes to like, I mean, to no audience, it's just, is the joke that funny? It's gotta be so funny.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if you were doing it to no audience and you told jokes that were so funny that I was like keeled over on my couch, then I might be sitting there like, damn, this dude is a genius.
But you're putting yourself in this position where you have to be funnier.
And I doubt that you are, because really nobody is.
You're kind of setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah, I mean, ain't nobody here is a superhero at stand-up comedy.
It'd be like if you were about to go on stage and the person before you said, "This is the funniest person I've ever seen. They make me laugh so hard. Every time I see them, they're literally..." No one is funnier than, like, they just gas you up way too much.
They did it too much. And like, if they might hit like, hey, this is my favorite comedian in the scene, that's a good intro. But what you just did, that would be so brutal.
Yeah, because then you're set up to fail.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you can make light of it when you got up on stage. Like, I'm pretty good.
Hello, guys. I'm a god. I am a god.
Yeah. That would be the better way to go up. Like, yeah, I kind of am his hero.
Yeah. That's why I'm here. Yeah. This means a lot to this guy.
Yeah.
That'd be a good way to do it. Yeah. This is clearly really important to him. So
maybe bring him back up on stage and be like, have somebody in the front row like, here, take a picture of me shaking his hand. I know this will mean a lot to
him. You got his social? Send that to him right now. Make sure he gets it.
I might do that with a host that I know one day. Like, come up and like, actually, can you come back up here? And he told me he wanted to get a picture with me.
I feel like you gotta, like, the nice touch is you get them to overhype you a little bit. Make sure to say to them, hey, really let them know that you like my comedy.
Right.
Maybe don't cue them into everything you're about to do, but just say, hey, tonight you love me.
Right.
Tonight I mean a lot to you. Mm-hmm. They're like, what do you mean? I'm just like, you'll understand. Just you like me a lot.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like that's all it really takes, and then they'll sell it real hard. They'll get into it, and then you bring them back up. Mm-hmm. You maybe even kiss them on the forehead or something.
Right. I like that.
Give them a good hug.
Off my son.
Good send off. Yeah, dude. Well, this comes out about, what would I say? Like a month from now, probably. So if you got anything to plug, keep that in mind. But at the very end here, we always try to make sure to do is, one, let the people know where they can find you. I know you got that podcast coming out sometime with Jason. So
very soon.
You got the Incubator incubating.
Yeah, the Incubator is incubating.
So I was thinking about that the other day.
Did I tell you about that, or did Jason?
When I first met you, he was talking about it, and then I talked to him about it on here a little bit.
Okay.
But I was just talking to Courtney about it, and she said you guys have like 11 episodes or something like that filmed, so which is not nothing. I imagine. What is the idea? You're just gonna film a bunch and then start dropping them?
No, the idea is there isn't one. Well, I mean, it's gonna get put out. It's Jason lost his job like 3 or 4 weeks ago, so that's been like him saying, look, I gotta, and I'm like, yeah, get a job first, and then we'll worry about putting the episodes out.
Damn, he had a good job too.
Yeah.
Damn, poor guy.
Yeah,
that sucks. Wow, well, that's not good.
I'm not pressing him about it, like, but when it's me and him, like, we figured everything is just based around clips anyway. So it's like me and him talk for an hour, and out of that hour, we probably say 3 or 4 funny things, and then we'll have clips of those, and then I'll consider that content, and that's,
it's a solid plan.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no delusion of 2 no-name comics starting a podcast and people listening to it.
No. I feel like you just fail upwards forever until you don't.
Do it long enough until like 100 people like it.
Which is like the ultimate success. In my mind, like, if someone listens to one of these episodes for more than 10 minutes, I'm like, holy shit. Like, nice. That's an actual achievement.
Right.
You wasted time on it now.
Yeah.
So
you could have just been watching me name colleges that football players went to, but they chose Ruse Radio.
Yeah. So, like, truly. And also, like, it is, like, what's funny about podcasts, too, is it is, like, random moments during them that happen to stick out. Like those 4 clips you just mentioned. Random shit.
Roughly
that you
happens,
Yeah. But it's, like, that's some person, like, will see that, and that might be, oh, I saw you talking about that, and I saw that you talk. Like, they just start to associate that with you. Just random shit that you just putting yourself on a video talking spirals into. It's funny what a podcast is to people, because it really, in my mind, the first reason I ever did anything like those things is because as someone who made art, I was thinking it would make sense for me to put myself in front of people in more capacities. I already listen to podcasts, so why don't I record one? But like through doing it, I feel like it is like, it's so much more talking than you could ever imagine. It's literally like you do just start saying nonsense in front of microphones.
Yeah.
You can't not just stay So it's like sometimes you'll forget that thing you said. You'll watch it back like, damn, that's actually that's a great idea. You it probably helps with comedy, honestly, filming podcasts, because it helps me with like thinking about ideas. Just talking to somebody for an extended period probably at least helps with like ironing out ideas, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you didn't really do a podcast before this one too, right? So
Jason's done
no, but you haven't. Yeah.
My own?
No. Yeah.
No, never.
Yeah.
I attempted to one time. I bought the cheapest equipment I could find, and it didn't work for anything. I don't know, but yeah, it was just a bad idea.
You were like what, like recording in like a shitty ass mic, like a Rock Band microphone, like me?
No, this was like a $300. I don't know. It had a setup for 4 mics, and I didn't know anything about anything. Like I didn't know how to plug any of it in. Like I just bought it. And I think it was like $300, and I could have just thrown that in the trash. We hooked it up like one time, tried to talk into it, couldn't like get it to like record. And I was like, yeah, this was a piece of crap.
I'm always so thankful that I have like a music background.
Yeah, I have no background in anything
because that helps. Like with this, that helps so much. Like if you didn't have any knowledge on what recording stuff you're supposed to use, like, because I forget that a lot. Like, most of the time, an entertainer knows about recording is I show up, there's a microphone. That's most of the time.
Let me tell you, like 2 months ago, I did CYSK. This is fucking embarrassing. Like to me personally, or not even to me personally, but I stepped on the cord as I went to take it out. And so the cord fell on the fucking thing, and I realized for the first time I've never plugged one of these in before. Like they're just always on the stage when I get up there. So I'm looking at this shit like, what the fuck do I do? And the host had to come up, and it ended up being a funny moment because he was like, all right, we're gonna do this again. And then he re-brought me back up there, but I did not know how to plug the fucking mic back in.
They probably thought you were just being funny.
No. I mean, luckily the people there know me, and they probably it's like, yeah, Zach doesn't know how to plug this in, does he?
The first time ever. That's crazy.
Yeah, never plugged a mic into
like this right here. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell you, because it sounds like you didn't even get the resolution. Someone helped you. So it's called an XLR cable.
Yeah.
And there's 3 little prongs in there.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to get those prongs to go into.
Right.
There's like a male and a female.
Yeah.
So this one would be considered the male because it's sticking it in.
Yeah.
And then you got the female here waiting, and then the male's got the prongs. So you just stick it in there, and then there you go. It's simple as that. Sometimes you plug mics in, and the sound's up all the way, and it goes like. Like it deafens everybody.
Well, I think what happened with that was because I was like performing and me not being certain. It's one of those things, if I had just been by myself, I could have been like, oh, all right. But because I was performing, I wasn't sure of how to do it. So I didn't want to start doing it, not be able to do it for a second, and then be like, hey, can you come help me?
Because that wouldn't look the same.
Well, it would just be taking up time.
Right.
Where I just was like, I'm not sure how to do this. Plugging a mic over, like, you could figure out over like a course of like 30 seconds. But I did not have 30 seconds to like kind of like, how do you do this?
So in your mind, the best thing you could do is nothing.
Right. No, I looked at my buddy Mark. I was like, yeah. so good.
I hope it was a learning experience for you.
Yeah.
For real. That's good. And like power to you. Now you can plug in a microphone. Yes,
that's what I want to
dude.
plug.
Yeah.
I want to plug the plug.
You can plug the plug. You can plug in plugs. You'll show up places like, guess what I can do? Like start unplugging things and plugging them back in. Like you just figured it out.
Yeah, that's how you can. That's how you can help us right there. Is whenever Jason puts it out, you can. I'll let you know that he put it out, and you can maybe on yours say that podcast is out now. And it's called The Incubator.
Well, you mean like, what do you mean? Like in general? Like
when he finally puts it out.
Okay.
Then I'll let you know. And then on your page, like you asked me if I have anything to plug. Then you can plug it. It would make sense. Then, that would be.
We'll say friend of the show, Zach Albers, just dropped this amazing.
Friend of the show.
Friends of the show.
Friends of the show, yeah. Jason and Zach.
That's right. And honestly, dude, 11 episodes is a decent amount. You guys are just nonsense. I hear what I'm told is that you're coming up with random ass ideas and then you're talking about them. That's my understanding. Is that we just come up with ideas that we incubate and then we throw them in the incubator. Right?
Yeah, mostly it's dumb ideas. Like it's like. It could be shit that you genuinely think could work. Yeah. But mostly is like shit that will never happen or shit that you won't pursue.
So like would it be like if I were to say, what if the Terminator was Santa Claus? Okay. Is that a good one? Is that good enough?
Well, that's actually where the incubator came from, was an idea like that. And it was, one of our buddies had the idea of Nick Cage playing Michael Richards, who is Kramer in Seinfeld.
That's good.
But Nick Cage doing a Michael Richards biopic. Ooh. And so it was from that we were like, this is what our podcast should be. Just fucking things that are never going to happen that we're just like, wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. And, but I mean, I think we talk about that for like 10 minutes. The rest of it is just me and Jason. I don't even know what we're talking about.
The show History Hyenas with Giannis Papas and Chris Stefano. Mm-hmm. That show is supposed to be a history show. Yeah. And that's what's so funny about it. It's kind of like how they develop their fan base is like they're talking about the topic, but really it's like they're just bullshitting. Yeah, and the topic just happens to be there. Yeah. That's really what the whole show has always been. Yeah. And then they develop like inside jokes and whatever. Mm. I think that's like a fun way to do any show like that. Yeah. Yeah. It's also, if you just only want to talk about the one thing, you kind of burn that out after a good like 10, 20 minutes anyway. Probably.
Well, it's just the way I feel like, I know comics say it all the time. They always say the comedian's brain, the way it works, blah, blah, blah. But everybody's fucking brain works like, for example, I wanted to tell Jason about how I was amazed that the show Roseanne was like, well, now it's called The Conners, but it was still running like earlier this year. Like, and I went to tell him, I wanted to tell him about how it's unbelievable that the show Roseanne is still on. Yeah. And, it started off with me being like, so I was watching the Laker game earlier today, and then he asked me something about the Lakers, and then we just start talking about like all the shit that he doesn't know about basketball. And then midway through, I was like, wait, why are we talking about the Lakers? And then I was like, I was trying to tell you about Roseanne. Like, that's just how everybody talks. Yeah. Don't they?
I think so. Yeah. Some people worse than others. Yeah. Like some people worse than others. Some people you can't even wrangle them. Right. Know? Yeah. Yeah. And I think like if talking is an art, I think that's truly what it is learning to keep things in the realm of like keeping a direction on a conversation. That can be hard.
Well, let me tell you. Okay. So the show's called The Incubator. Right? So that's one of the running themes is the ideas and shit that you're never going to pursue. Then our other theme of the show is laws of being cool. Ooh. And one of our laws ties into what you were saying. One of our laws was if you're within like a group like setting and you go to tell a story and somebody talks over you, you stop. And then the next time there's a break, you go to tell the story again, somebody else talks over you. That's it.
That's it.
You are not telling the story. You sit back and then...
Because every time you do it the third time, it's bad.
It's bad.
It does not feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
So, yeah, that's one of our laws of being cool is attempt to tell a story twice. If you get cut off both times, that's it.
That's it. It's like God telling you. It's, like, it's not today.
No?
Don't do that.
I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Yeah. And, like, that is a law of being cool. That's definitely there's other laws of being cool.
Yeah, that's
I think, like...
That's one of our running themes, though, is all like, yeah, we're like you are in your phone. We're making a list of how to be cool.
How to be cool. I'm trying to think of like other things. There's probably don'ts.
I would say that was our most like tangible like thing you can practice in your life. A lot of it is about the way you behave, but
that one's actionable.
That's one where you can be like, okay, I can do something about that.
It's a familiar situation.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
All been there.
Yeah. And we all know that's not cool. That's the thing is I think like when that happens to you.
You look like somebody who gets talked over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like.
It was such a like black auntie like.
I felt you.
Where'd that come from? That was beautiful.
My heart. Came from my heart.
Dude.
But yeah.
It was like a DMV clerk.
You know that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is you have to like switch gears is what I was gonna say. If you get talked over twice, you gotta switch gears at that point.
Yeah.
You can't even like allow usually I would recognize I gotta either sit back, like I'm gonna sit back, or I'll like exit the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like keep trying to command attention. Like
No,
if the attention has been denied.
Yeah, it's been denied.
Find somewhere else to like. You can maybe go over there and be cool, or be the coolest thing you could do. Is chill. Hang back.
What ends up happening is after your story's been denied twice, now you go to tell it a third time. Now at this point, there's unnecessary build-up to this story. So now, I mean, the story better be fucking really good.
Yeah.
Because if it's half good, you're going to look real bad, too.
And it won't be good. It won't be. It's never that good. It's never that good. There's no story that you were about to say that you got interrupted twice where it's like, the funniest. Sometimes I just don't believe in that kind of thing. I think that you're right. I think your rule is 100% correct. I don't think there's ever an exception to the rule. I really think that that's like something to live by because, damn, it just makes me think of all those times that I've broken that rule and it's hurt me.
Well, can I end on a good story? It's not super funny, but it's like a good story for anybody putting like content out there.
I like good stories.
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I do a bit that's kind of like a current event type like bit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I tell it at Laugh Factory, and it happens to be sold out that night. And it was kind of just a goofy joke that like a lot of comics had been laughing at that week. I didn't think the audience was really gonna care. Or I didn't think the audience would laugh as hard, but they did, right? And so my buddy was saying, like, that's a perfect joke right there to clip out and put online because it's, you got a good, like, reaction from it, and it's a current event type joke. And those shits do well online. So I had my wife like edit it, like clip out that part of the show, and she had it scheduled to post, right?
Okay.
And so every night when I get home from work, I usually get high and shit, and I just like fucking like scroll through Instagram. I leave a lot of comments on shit, like. And so the next day, like
he's working when he's doing it. You're working when you're doing that.
Right? Yeah, me and Jason joke like that too. We say, "No, what do you mean watching this Nick Cage movie? I'm working." Yeah,
this is important.
This is important. So, my wife has this joke scheduled to post, and I wake up the next day and I go and get my phone. The first thing I see is like 4,000 something likes or whatever. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Like, oh shit, people are actually like looking at this like bit, you know?
Yeah.
And I click on Instagram and I get on there. I have like 4,000 something likes from some fucking comment I left under a golden retriever video. And it's like up to like 7,000 likes, right? But it was so funny that the joke I put out that I thought was really clever and like very like time, like it fits like what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Like 100 likes or whatever, but I literally left a fucking nothing comment under a golden retriever video.
I have a couple comments. I remember like my first ever comment to get like a bunch of likes. I have a screenshot, so it was like 10,000 likes on some random ass video.
Really? Yeah.
It's such a weird feeling even to get a comment.
But it was like, it wasn't weird. Like I've gotten a lot of likes from comments, but they were comments that I actually thought were like funny things to say.
Yeah, this was the
This
nothing.
was a nothing.
Oh, cute dog.
It was a cute dog that I'll just show you the video. But yeah, he's just getting. I guess the people in the or people listening. But yeah, they're just scratching his head, right? And then they stop.
Okay.
And like he goes from like smiling to just a regular face, right? And I just wrote, he knows it's coming back. 7,000 likes. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's a good comment though. And like it makes me wonder, like, is there even any real value to doing it, to like writing comments? Like, of course it's like a fun thing to do. But like I don't think it like for like the Instagram algorithm, like I don't think people are finding you through comments. I think it's like, again, love of the game. I think the only reason you'd write a comment is for the love of the game.
It is. Oh yeah, it's just from being high and just like
That dog did know it was coming back.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
He's waiting for a little bit more of that action. Yeah. I love me a good comment. I read comments an unhealthy amount of the time.
No, I think they're like the saving grace of social media.
You really think so?
I 100% think so.
I always worry I'm wasting my time reading those things.
No. Well, no. I mean, it's not going to like help you like financially in reading comments. I mean, as far as how much is like content is,
I feel like it gives you an understanding of things.
no, I feel like it gives you a community.
Yeah.
Because whether it's a video of something that I genuinely like or genuinely think is funny or smart or whatever, or if most of what all internet content is shit that's bad, like almost like intentionally bad.
Or made to upset you.
Or it's bad and the person who's making it thinks it's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's most of the content. So you get to go in the comment section and realize, okay, I'm not crazy. Everyone else hates this too.
It's like Jim from The Office looking at the camera. You know?
Yeah.
Like, well, that's the whole thing with Jim in The Office is like, that's the idea that you're, as the audience, you see Jim look at the camera, so you have a character you can identify with.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
As an audience, you see that and you're like, oh, okay, then I'm not the crazy one. The crazy one are these people that we're all watching. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is a lot of the internet. You're right. It's like a bunch of comment sections where we're all like, you're seeing this shit.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it keeps you from, like, if a JoJo Siwa video comes up on my thing, like, I don't have to walk around all day thinking, God damn, people like that? Like, I get to go to the comment section and at least have, like, okay, for a minute there, I thought, like, I might as well quit stand-up right now if, like...
I have learned, though, that different comment sections are different. Like, obviously. Like, you go to a different video,
I'm
you
sure
took a whole
there's some
different...
people that love JoJo Siwa, I'm sure, but... at least my algorithm knows that I want to see the people who like are trashing her.
Yeah, I want to see the hate watching.
Yeah.
I want to hate watch.
I'm a big hate watcher.
I'm a big hate watcher too, and I've learned I can't. There's only so much of it I should do.
Yeah.
But there's like certain train wrecks you can't look away from. JoJo Siwa is one of those.
Yeah, all this shit with Katy Perry the last couple of weeks. I mean, it's like I thoroughly have enjoyed watching everyone else be like, wow, this bitch is fucking retarded.
And it's been going on with her for a while.
Yeah,
if you've been paying attention to Katy,
I haven't been paying attention, but
yeah, back in like American, like she was on the American Idol for a minute. I think.
Yeah, she was like,
and even then it was like, oh, I don't know if I like this girl anymore. And then like she started doing, I can't remember all the shit she did. She just kept doing weird stuff, like making weird choices. And then now she's going to the moon. Yeah,
right.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it, dude. It's a sign of the times. Katy Perry is going to the moon on a moon mission. It's
I love it. Yeah, no, everybody. Yeah, they didn't even come close to the moon. But.
I think she should have sang "Imagine" by John Lennon up there. I think that would have really sold it if she had just went all the way.
She did so much shit though that was as good as that. You know, like
same idea.
Yeah.
I want to do like a fake moon mission of my own now, where I go to the moon and I just film it in here.
Right.
I do the same thing.
I mean, damn. Yeah, because me and Jason,
a bunch of comedians go to the moon.
Me and Jason film in front of a green screen that he wants to be able to change.
You can steal my idea.
Yeah, no, I was thinking.
Do it.
Well, I mean, if Katy Perry's thing was still in the news, that would be perfect to just be in space, like for that episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll be too late by then.
Yeah. But there'll always be something else, you know?
I wonder what the next thing would be, because it's always so random. Like that one's so. I'm surprised people even talked about it, because I heard about it when it was about to happen.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's not
honestly,
even.
I don't think it would have gotten talked about as much, but because it wasn't just Katy Perry. There was a couple other like dumbasses who went.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the way they talked when they got back down.
How revolutionary what they did was.
Yeah. I think that's what really brought it home.
Because their PR probably told them like, this is the perfect thing for feminism. You got to really push this.
Yeah.
And they just didn't realize how that was actually gonna look.
Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, they did not realize they were just gonna look like a bunch of rich people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, like how. It's just play.
I think richness is associated with men so much that women thought them like that the fact that they're rich is empowering to people.
Oh, you might be right.
I think a lot.
Because that's what it was when Beyonce was like one of the first billionaires or whatever. Like that was a cool story because it's the first black woman to be a billion. That's how that was sold.
Yeah.
But really, it's just another rich person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you sell it like that, it's good. It's empowerment. I think you're right. Yeah, rich women probably is less of a stigma.
Yeah, these women did not realize that they would be looked at as just rich people.
Well, like, what they did came across in disingenuous. That's the problem too. If they had just been cool about it, if they had followed the rules and been cool, it wouldn't have been a big deal. Been like, hey, we didn't no big deal or anything. We just kind of went and looked at the Earth from up there. It was pretty cool. If they just said that,
no, if they literally could have done Kanye West, I'm a dope that does dope shit. Like
that.
Dude.
Just say that.
Katy Perry would be a legend if she said that. And
she would actually gain
if
fans.
She said, I'm a dope bitch who does dope shit. Like, she would be a god right now. But instead, she's retarded.
That's crazy because you're right. Like, in an alternate timeline, Katy Perry did the right thing and just was cool. I did some dope shit just now. I don't give a fuck what any of y'all have to say. Any of y'all been outside the stratosphere?
Yeah.
I think not,
Yeah.
bitch. Like, if she had just said that, holy shit. Like, whole character turn. Everybody's cheering.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh my God, Katy Perry's edgy again. That would actually be the perfect move.
I'd get firework tattooed right on my ribcage if she had said that, dude.
A Katy Perry resurgence.
Yeah.
I still love that song.
Firework?
I feel like I could actually do a lot of that song by memory. I don't know if I can get to the second verse, but like if I was doing karaoke, I wouldn't even have to look at the screen for a lot of that song. That's the song that's like, Do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating through the wind, waiting to start again? Do you ever feel like a waste of space?
I was about to make fun of you because I was about to say, well, I mean, there's 35 words in that song, like, but there's probably more.
Oh, you know what though? I'm forgetting though. I think when I get there's no reason why the story closed. Yeah, I lost it right there.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. You'll get it back. Oh, yeah.
That's a good. I'm trying to, I'm glad that I mentioned that though, because I'm trying to find more good karaoke songs.
Courtney. Karaoke. You want karaoke songs.
What about Courtney though?
She's amazing karaoke. Yeah.
She's good?
She's good, but in a cool, like a fun way. She can sing a little bit. Like she's got a nice singing voice, but she don't really sing at karaoke. She raps. And
I love it.
Yeah. And it's like, but I'm trying to get her to rap some more like different type of rap songs than what she usually does.
Yeah.
Because she'll do like Salt and Pepper, like Push It, I'm trying to get her to learn Tipping on 4/4s with Mike Jones songs.
Some street shit.
Yeah.
Because you think, what, it'd be cooler?
I think she could go viral. Because she's good at it, by the way. Like, she knows all the words to these rap songs. She does. So I know she could learn Tipping on, or Still Tipping. And to see her go up and sing like Paul Wall, Mike Jones, and Slim Thug all together, I know she could do it. And I think it would. Because I had a buddy of mine who, like, he couldn't sing at all. Yeah. But he could bring the house down doing karaoke because he would do that, that stroking song?
I think so.
I've been stroking.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, and then at the end he would freestyle rap to Stroking to the East, stroke, and man, he would have the place go crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he would
would rap at the end,
do whatever,
mm-hmm.
and by then he had already like won the whole room over.
Yeah. And without having really, other than he could freestyle a little bit.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like a musically gifted person. Yeah. But he could. Yeah.
Karaoke's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You really can just pull something out of somebody.
Yeah. And I feel like Courtney could shut the house down if she did Still Tipping.
Yeah. All you gotta do is like. So what do you gotta do? You gotta convince her to do it? Like,
no, she's down. It's just about learning the words now.
She practices? Does she?
Not yet. No, I'm pushing it,
You gotta just play the song around her a few times.
Get
it.
No, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
I've been doing that.
That's good though. That's good that she has like her thing with karaoke. Because I was gonna say, all I got is Smash Mouth, like All Star. I can do that song like no other. But like that song, maybe like Chop Suey by System of a Down. There's maybe a couple other songs I know I could do. Fireworks a good one. I could probably do rap songs. Oh, I could obviously Lose Yourself by Eminem. That's going to work no matter where you are probably. But that's the thing. Like, yeah, I don't have like deep cuts. Like what you just gave me was a deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
Like her doing that song would be like, damn, like she's pulling out the jams.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking the basic shit. Mm-hmm. I need to get my karaoke repertoire up.
Yeah.
Because I went to karaoke once or twice. I'm like, I can't even. My brain
doesn't. Did you bomb?
I didn't even bomb. I did good, but I only have my go-tos.
Yeah.
I need to branch out.
Well, you gotta,
You can do bullshit at karaoke.
Well, you gotta find the banger songs though, but not like. It's like. It's hard. Still Tipping is a perfect example of a banging ass song that when it comes on, you ain't heard it in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a tip of your tongue type song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's right there in the back of your mind. Like it tickles your brain a certain way.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Lollipop by Lil Wayne.
That could be a good one.
That would be a good one. Because everybody sort of remembers that song. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, well, she lick me like a lollipop. Yeah, that's a really good one. Or I guess
she
50
wanna
Cent.
lick the rapper.
I don't know if you like Lil Wayne's delivery in that song is.
I would
else,
karaoke with you, but it would just be Migos, and I would just let you do all the rapping. I'd be in the back like, rah!
Yeah, you could do the ad-libs.
And then I'd get to the money. Yeah.
That's really. I've thought about that. Like, I need hype guys. Like, that's a thing as a rapper.
I kind of think I'd be Nah, I'm not a good hype guy, but
You just described it pretty well.
is that hype guy?
That's all it really is.
Okay.
You're just kind of throwing in ad libs, like making people like
Yeah.
feel like there's still some motion, you know?
Right, yeah.
Like I'm at least of the.
I don't know if I'd be able to go along with the dancing part of it.
You just have to look cool, like like the angry Obama thing where it's like.
Well, check.
Yeah, it's like Key and Peele.
Right.
It's like Key and Peele, and I think they actually end up doing it with Obama at one point. But it's like one of them's playing Obama, the other one's playing the Obama translator, and he's just
I've
like,
seen that one.
yeah,
I have seen that
I
one.
feel like you just gotta be kind of like that. You're the
Yeah.
cool. I'm the guy, and
Yeah.
you're the other guy bringing whatever energy
Right.
you're bringing. That's all it is. Yeah. You like you throw some respect on my name while I'm
Yeah.
rapping. You're like,
Yeah.
You don't even have to actually be cool.
yeah.
Just like you said,
Yeah.
just throw some ad libs out there. Do.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do that a little bit.
Master P was good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when rappers really do it right, usually like the person knows their lyrics. Usually it's like they're even doing the ad, like because if you're a rapper and you're performing for like 40 minutes an hour, it's hard to keep your breath.
No, he was good at cause he wouldn't just do he did more I feel like Migos kind of just which I like Migos a lot. This is like a new discovery for me in the last
Migos?
I never really listened to him or got into him. And then a year ago, and I don't even really get into people like that where
He's bad and bougie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't really get into rap. I just start listening to albums. When I say I like rap, I mean I like 74 songs. You know what I mean? I listen to the same rap songs all the time.
Right.
Yeah. So Migos is last year I never really paid attention to them, and now there's 10 Migos songs that I love and listen to all the time. But Master P would if somebody's if there was a line about coming through with a gun or something, Master P would be like, "Bow!" It's so very cool. It adds to the song too. Yeah.
It really does. And that's what a good hype guy does, is exactly that. Yeah, you need a good support. Yeah. I've never even been good at doing my own ad-libs, doing that. Because it's you just kind of, it does end up being that. You just, bow, 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 bow.
There's a great, I don't know if you ever heard of Pastor Troy before, but a great.
Sounds really familiar to me.
He's a kind of a down south, he's a legend rapper, in the South, mostly.
I've heard of him.
And he he did all his own shit, but a lot of his verse would end with stuff like that. And it's it really does make the song even cooler.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It's like a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be like a character in a show with a sound effect like that. That's such a good one.
Yeah.
I've never had my own sound. Chance the Rapper does he's I think that's his thing.
Right, yeah. I've
There's
heard that.
sounds people will have.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't have one. That's such a comedians will have tags. It's kind of like a tag for a comedian to have your own sound as a rapper. He's gonna say the thing, the one thing. Eminem, chicka chick chick. That was Eminem for a little bit with Slim Shady. He did the little record thing. Man, I'll come up with one. And by then you'll have a second chain. How about that?
Oh, if you come up with one by the time I have a second chain, dude, that'll give you one chain.
Yeah, that's how you gain a chain.
Yeah.
That'll be my first chain.
Yeah.
It's a cool catchphrase.
Yeah.
But social medias, where they can find you. So they've listened to you this long. Hopefully they go find you. They can consume more of that magical content. You're dripping through the social web ether of the internet that exists out there. Maybe you got YouTube, maybe you got Instagram, maybe you got Snapchat, maybe you got LinkedIn, maybe you're on OnlyFans. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're about to tell them. And also, if you got a message for the kids, you want to send them home with something good, a little nugget of information from your brain that you can give them to take away and use in their life, the floor is yours, sir.
Follow me on Instagram at Zach Albers, Albers, Albers. Message for the kids. Follow us at the Incubator, and this is key for the kids. Is we're gonna give you all the laws of being cool.
And kids need to know, because if anybody needs to know, it's the kids.
Yeah. Adults, it's almost like we're doing that for the kids, by the way, because trying to learn how to be cool when you're 40 in itself not cool.
It's like a paradox.
Yeah. So this is for the kids.
Yeah.
You want to learn these things before you reach about 25.
And if you're 25, there's still hope, but like the sooner the better, because you're approaching. He's like, what would we call it?
You want to do this before you get married. You want to learn all these laws before you get married.
Yeah. Because if at that point there is no being cool, there is no.
No, you can still be cool, but see, if you get married before you're cool, then that's just gonna be the dynamic of the relationship, and like you want to be going into it cool. So that you can set a good dynamic for the relationship.
Oh, you're setting the stage. Mm-hmm. And that applies to almost all of your relationships. You want to be as cool as you could be as early as possible.
Yeah. What's going to happen with the kids that are following the Incubator is as you're learning all these rules, you're going to have to start cutting those people out of your life that knew you before you knew those rules.
And that wouldn't be happening if they weren't watching the Incubator.
Right.
That's why it's so important.
Yeah,
because they actually won't achieve the level of coolness they could have achieved. Like imagine in life, you have a certain amount of potential, and there's so much potential that you have, and you're just this flower that could blossom into all these things.
Yeah.
But if you don't take those steps, like watching the Incubator and learning how to be cool, you don't become the flower you could become.
Right.
Yeah. And then like as a kid, you're still blossoming.
Yeah, the Incubator is direct sunlight.
Yeah, shining upon the children. Yeah. I mean, and hopefully by the time this episode's out, a month from now, we're from the past, here in the future. The episode 1 of Incubator is existing somewhere.
Sure.
Zach Albers, Jason Melton, friends of the show, dropping the most amazing thing in the world, the Incubator, here to serve your children.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that way you don't have to be a good father. You let me and Jason do it.
Yeah. I mean, like, what else is a podcast except, like, babysitting, right? You just put that stuff on as, like, it's actually educational if you think about it. It's better than if I put on shows for my kid, because they're hearing what the real world is like.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there's anything me and Jason are, it's real world.
It'd be like that's like a sweet thing. It's like if you like how when women are pregnant, they'll put things next to their kids to like try to get them to like learn.
Right. Yeah.
It'd be like that.
That's an idea for the Incubator, I believe.
Do that with your children.
Yeah.
If you have a pregnant woman near you, test this out.
Right.
Yeah.
Your kid will come out with a chain on.
And if he doesn't come out with one, he will acquire one quickly.
Very quickly.
Surprisingly fast.
The doctor better not be wearing a chain, because that shit will get snatched.
If the doctor is wearing a chain, at least warn him first.
Tell him to tuck it in.
He's like, what do you mean? You're like, please trust me.
I don't know. My baby's been listening to this podcast.
It's a serious thing.
I like this. All right. Yeah, that's all I got. Nothing else to plug.
Hell yeah, man. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yep.
Love to have you here. We'll do it again sometime. Hope the people have stuck around. You guys have had a great time. Hope that everybody has a great time always in life. I hope you guys are learning. This is an educational experience, as we have established. We're actually teaching you things. I'm still trying to figure out what those things are. With all that being said, Radio. Clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess.